performance as quarterback of the Aggies. Duke and Texas A&M, a couple of teams ranked in the top 25 of the final BCS standings. Happy New Year's a little bit early from our family to yours. Reese Davis, Jesse Palmer, and David Pollack here. And certainly this season started with enormous expectations for Johnny Manziel, perhaps a second Heisman Trophy, SEC National Championship. None of that came true, Jesse. However, this week, as you got ready for this game, Manziel has had an edge about him. Some close to the Aggie program say he's never been quite so hyped on game day as he is tonight.
He's the most exciting college football player I've ever seen. He is must-watch TV because his style of play is just so unique, and he's the ultimate dual-threat quarterback, guys. I think he's gotten better as a passer this year. He's committed himself to working through his progressions. His footwork is better, which means his accuracy's been better. But let's face it, his greatness is his escapability, that sixth sense to avoid the pass rush, make big plays on the fly. He's playing against the Duke defense tonight that lacks an elite pass rush. They've got a lot of youth in the secondary. And the last time we saw Johnny Manziel in a bowl game, he put up a Cotton Bowl record 516 total yards. I would expect Johnny football to have a huge game here tonight, and what I do expect to be his final game in college football.
And if that's the case, you know Manziel's not going to go out quietly. He wants to go out with a splash, but this is the ultimate team game, and perhaps overlooked sometimes is the supporting cast that the Aggies have around him.
Well, I think we do give Johnny most of the credit, and he deserves it. I think he's the straw that stirs the drink, but think about last year. Luke Jokel was the #2 pick in the draft. Jake Matthews, he's going to be a top 5. He's going to be the first tackle taken this year. Mike Evans is probably a first-round receiver. He's a monster with his height on the outside. So it's these kind of guys in the supporting cast that help that greatness come through to one of the all-time greats that we've seen. But he's definitely got a good cast around him.
It has been not announced officially that this is Manziel's final game. It's just something that most have presumed. However, Duke is not merely a bit player. They are champions of the ACC Coastal Division. They have rallied from deficits all year long. And as the Blue Devils get ready to take the field, the one thing they have promised, they are not scared of Manziel or the Aggies, and much of that bravery has been built on the fact that Blue Devils have found themselves trailing multiple times this year and continue to find ways to win games. The Aggies, on the other hand, they haven't fared as well in close games. It's a concern for Texas A&M as they come onto the floor of the Georgia Dome tonight in what promises to be a thriller in Atlanta on New Year's Eve. Texas A&M and Duke kick it off when you come back.
Visit WatchESPN.com or download the Watch ESPN app to watch ESPN live anytime, anywhere. Brought to you by Vizio.
Love this team, man. What a better way to send these seniors off with a win.
We gonna finish. Now it's time to finish. It's the grand finale, baby. It's the grand finale. They don't get no bigger than this.
David Cutcliffe, the Bobby Dodd Coach of the Year, has his team fired up and ready for the start of this Chick-fil-A Bowl. Let's go down to the floor of the Georgia Dome where Samantha Ponder is standing by.
Another guy fired up and ready would be Johnny Manziel. A lot of the season, though, he played pretty banged up, had a thumb injury, a shoulder injury, and a knee injury. He is healthy tonight and getting play calls from a new full-time offensive coordinator who wants to go faster and do more. He will be calling plays from the sideline. Now, that creates quite the challenge for Duke defensive coordinator Jim Knowles. He had a saying for his defense all year that was play 55, and that meant do 5 things well for 5 seconds. Well, he had to change that because of Johnny Manziel. This week, he's been telling his team 510. Do 5 things for 10 seconds. The defense obviously has their work cut out for them. They're going to have to play a lot more man, some 5-man pressure, and be more multiple than they've been all year. The goal is to get Johnny to get rid of the football as soon as possible, but you have to treat him like a running back, he said. You have to focus on his waist. And even though the plan is somewhat complicated, Reese, the message is simple. He told his guys, just don't watch the show.
And that's hard to do, Sam. And the one thing we've seen Johnny do throughout the course of his career, use that pump fake. That's why Knowles wants defenders to treat him like a running back. He sends guys flying through the air like Superman, and then he continues to run on. Johnny's going to get the ball first as A&M wins the toss. They'll receive. There is Kevin Sumlin, armed with a new contract in his second year at Texas A&M. He's won 19 games, lost only 6. 2012 Coach of the Year. 49 years old, has a contract extension through 2019 that'll pay him upwards of $5 million per year. His counterpart, the veteran David Cutcliffe. This has not been a rebuilding job, but a resurrection that Cutcliffe has done at Duke. He is in his 6th season as the Blue Devil head coach. In the 8 years before Cutcliffe arrived in Durham, Duke won 10 games total. They won 10 games this year for the first time, and he believes that his team has the toughness and the resilience in order to make it 11 wins tonight. And what a difference in perception it would be if the Blue Devils could pull this upset and finish perhaps in the top 15 in the country. Set to go from Atlanta, and we're underway in the Chick-fil Bowl. Texas A&M receiving it. Trey Williams. Williams gets up across the 25-yard line, and this is where the fast-paced Texas A&M offense will put it in play first, and it won't take long for Johnny Manziel to look for Mike Evans, his big physical wide receiver, matched up often tonight against a couple of freshman cornerbacks, Breon Borders and Brian Fields. Borders picked off Jameis Winston a couple of times in the ACC championship game, and we'll see when those two guys are matched up on Evans how that matchup works out for the Devils. Manziel, quarterback draw on the first play. Manziel healthier than he's been in several weeks. He's had thumb, shoulder, knee problems. Gets up to the 35-yard line, pickup of about 8 on first down. Manziel, 6'1", 210 pounds. He improved his completion percentage. Virtually all of his numbers were improved. Did throw a few more interceptions this year, but still big-time offensive force, and he finds Evans with his first pass of the night, and Big Mike Evans gets it to midfield.
One thing Texas A&M is always able to do is start fast. In 17 of Kevin Sumlin's 25 games as head coach of Texas A&M, they've scored a touchdown on their opening possession. Johnny Manziel right now in this offense, they've got a good rhythm.
Ben Molina getting his first carry. Molina picks up close to 5, a senior from Cedar Hill, Texas, carrying it on the right side. Here are the numbers I referenced. Manziel up over 300 yards per game passing. His rushing numbers are down. Didn't run it quite as much. Some of that due to injury, some of it due to design. Had 4 400-yard passing games and 5 4-touchdown pass games over the course of this 2013 season. On 2nd and 5, Manziel firing deep, and a flag's coming in for pass interference or a hold. Jeremy Cash, the transfer from Ohio State, his first season with Duke, is likely the one who's going to get nabbed.
Defense, number 16, 10-yard penalty, automatic first down.
I think one of the things that's fun to watch about Duke is they'll be aggressive. They'll play man coverage right there, man coverage across the board against the explosive playmakers on the outside, and you see the hold. Johnny recognizes man coverage, throws it up on the outside. They get the flag. Duke, can they be aggressive? Can they hold up on the outside is going to be a big test tonight.
Opening possession, Aggies have it at the 35. The little shuffle pass. That is Quiv Gonzalez. Quiviante, Quiv for short. It's a good pickup on first down. He'll move the chains.
This offense has already been very multiple on this opening drive. We've seen quarterback runs, quick throws down the field. Now all of a sudden push passes to wide receivers, getting them involved unconventionally in the running game.
And by making that a flip forward, it's an incomplete pass if it's dropped, not a fumble. So you see a lot of that in college football now. There's a reason for it.
Stat pattern for Johnny football. He'll take that.
Manziel to the end zone. Evans can't pull it in with one hand. Evans jumps up wanting the flag, as is customary for most receivers in college football. And it's 2nd and 10.
Mike Evans reminds me a lot of David Boston at 6'5", 225 pounds. There's a flag down on that play. I think they're going to get defensive holding or pass interference. That's what Mike Evans wants. But every time he's matched up one-on-one, we talked about those impact matchups with him matched up with smaller corners, sometimes true freshmen. Manziel's going there.
Unsportsmanlike conduct. Offense. Number 13. 15-yard penalty. 2nd down.
The emotion's running high. You don't know exactly what Evans said, but I don't see any reason for Evans to be upset. And then when he jumps up like this, he apparently set a little bit too much to the side, Judge, and gets the 15-yard penalty. So the Aggies will go back to the ground. Ben Molina picks up a few, and Jake Spavital calling as Molina is down on the play, calling plays for the first time. The penalty puts him behind the chains for the first time tonight as Molina still on the turf. There is Spavital, 28-year-old from the Dana Holgerson, Cliff Kingsbury tree of offense, and has a really good feel, they say, for calling plays.
Yeah, and kind of a master of this air raid offense. He was the disciple, really, an understudy for Dana Holgerson at Oklahoma State, and West Virginia was a GA for Kevin Sumlin at Houston. But one of the things to look for with him is the new play caller being a lot more multiple in the running game, in the passing game, with formations as well. We've seen that on that for his first drive, just being more creative.
Ben Molina is now sitting up on the field. We'll check on his condition when you come back to Atlanta. Aerial coverage in Atlanta provided by Goodyear. Everything Goodyear has learned making tires that go the distance inspires what they roll into yours. Goodyear, more driven. That's outside in Atlanta. Inside the Georgia Dome, Texas A&M looking at a 3rd and 19.
3rd and long. Texas A&M does not like to run a lot of draws and screens. They let the receivers run downfield and let Johnny Manziel scramble around. So Duke's got to do a great job keeping him in the pocket.
And it's going to be 3rd and 24. Jarvis Harrison, the left guard.
Offense number 51. 5-yard penalty. Third down.
It's always a lot different playing inside in a dome. It's a lot harder to hear for offensive linemen. Obviously, Texas A&M hasn't had that opportunity to do that this year. Of course, they played in a dome last year in Jerry World in the Cotton Bowl.
It's never good to have 20 yards of penalties on this drive, too, to sit you back this far because you were cruising before you shot yourself in the foot.
Manziel directing traffic, firing it down deep, and goes through the hands of Gonzalez, incomplete. Had an opportunity to make the catch. Devon Edwards on the coverage, and it'll be 4th and 24, and the Blue Devils come up with a stop.
Good scheme by Duke here on defense. They're not going to take one guy. They're going to take 2 guys, and they're going to spy on Johnny Manziel this entire snap. Watch the linebackers, both David Helton and Kelby Brown. They're just kind of floating around, keeping their eye on Johnny Manziel, forcing the football out of his hands early. Nice design right there by Jim Knowles and Jim Collins on defense for Duke.
Texas A&M is going to try a 55-yard field goal with the former pro soccer player Josh Lambo. He lights into it. Lambo has the distance but not the accuracy, and the Aggies come up empty. Scoring a touchdown on the opening drive has been a staple for Texas A&M over the course of the first half of the season, but now for the 5th straight game, the Aggies failed to get the ball in the end zone the first time they touch it, and the penalty on Mike Evans was a big reason why. And
this is huge for Duke. Their confidence in this ball game, getting some good juices going. The defense got to stop, no matter how they got it, whether they got an unsportsmanlike penalty or not, missed field goal, get some good juices flowing on this drive right here, and it'll be big for Duke's psyche.
So the Blue Devils have it for the first time at their own 37. Anthony Boone is the quarterback. They'll try a little trickery first. Boone firing deep. He's got a man out there. It's Jamison Crowder, and Crowder can't hold on to it, being covered by Devontae Harris. But have a look at Crowder's jersey and tell me somebody didn't grab him along the way.
That just came out by itself, Reese, just running down the field.
Devontae Harris is a guy that teams late in the season have picked on deep when they played against Texas A&M. There's a lot of hand fighting going on. Even still, guys,
he almost caught him.
Jamison Crowder should have, I think, caught that football. A little bit underthrown. I love being aggressive on first play of the game.
How about that?
With a flea flicker. Texas A&M, very lucky they did not give up an explosive play right there.
Crowder's just 2 catches away from the ACC single-season record. He's caught 96 passes this year, and Duke has to use a timeout. The Blue Devils, an upstart, won 10 games for the first time in program history. Long a doormat, but David Cutcliffe has changed all of that around. There's a commitment to football in the administration. 2 wins against ranked teams for the first time since '89. In the AP rankings, for the first time since '94, first ACC championship game appearance. And Cutcliffe, after beating North Carolina, 2nd straight year they've done that, able to earn a spot into the ACC championship game as Coastal Division champions.
Pretty amazing when you consider at the start of the year, the media picked them to finish dead last in their division. Just shows you how smart we are. With 3 double-digit deficit wins, 4 fourth-quarter wins, David Cutcliffe, who's won virtually every National Coach of the Year award this season, has done an unbelievable job with this football program.
That comparison of win total is the most amazing stat of all the amazing ones that Cutcliffe has put together in his building effort at Duke. Boone, quarterback run game. Boone's going to have the first down and get it into Aggie territory. And big 6', 230-pound junior from Weddington, North Carolina, picks up 16 on the run.
He's a guy I've really enjoyed watching on tape, guys. He plays on time, gets the football out when he needs to, anticipates throws, reads coverages, knows where his answers are when he's blitzed. He's just a product of David Cutcliffe and Kurt Roper. Excellent coaching.
Boone. Over the middle, and it's a completion, a big hit delivered by Howard Matthews, but not before Brandon Braxton makes the grab for the Blue Devils.
And again, nice play action, and this is what we talk about with Cutcliffe. This team plays discipline. This quarterback, Boone, knows where to go with the football, coached exceptionally well, and I'll tell you what, that was a hard hit, too.
Ground, Josh Sneed on the carry. The Blue Devils are without their leading rusher tonight, Jalay Duncan. Duncan suspended for violation of university academic policy, but they have a lot of backs that they use.
And the key to their success tonight is this offensive line. Getting a great surge right here. They have to dominate up front, so this offense has balance. They got to be able to run the ball, something they couldn't do in the ACC title game against Florida State.
On 1st and 10. Boom. Sacked. Ivan Robinson making the play.
And as much as we've talked about A&M's offense all year long, we've talked about how bad their defense has been. Robinson with a great job on the inside, quickly getting off the ball, coming inside, using his hands. Duke's going to have to hold up better than that. That's one of the strengths of their team, is their offensive line. They got to win one-on-one battles up front.
I'm concerned about the right tackle because they are missing Perry Simmons, who was hurt in the Florida State game. He had started 50 straight games, but that wasn't where the issue was on that particular play. Sneed keeps his feet moving, got to the 36. Still a long way to go for the first down. There is Simmons. And the 50 start. He was a National Football Foundation scholar athlete, all ACC third team. He was the leader up front, and it's a guy that is being replaced by Lucas Patrick tonight. He was their 6-man jack of all trades. I think he might be better suited to play guard, but tonight starting at right tackle.
So keep your eye right here. Gavin Stansbury, he's the best pass rusher for Texas A&M, going against Lucas Patrick, making his first career start.
Duke needs to get it to the 22 of Texas A&M. Crowder's open. He's inside the 20. Jamison Crowder down close to the 10. It'll be 1st and 10 for the Blue Devils.
And there's a tremendous example of what head coach David Cutcliffe calls anticipatory throws. Getting the football out early, throwing into a window before his wide receiver Crowder's even turned around to see where the ball is. That's just beautiful execution in the passing game.
Great job looking to his left, coming back to his right. Listen, if A&M wants to continue to play man coverage, I would continue to throw it to number 3. This guy's not just a good player. He's a great player. He's one of the best receivers in the ACC.
Just outside the 10. Boone heat coming, gets rid of it. Sneed has it. A pathway to the end zone. Touchdown, Duke! Anthony Boone was responsible for the man coming at him, and he got rid of it beautifully to Sneed.
Talking about how he knows where his answers are. There's a free rusher coming off the edge, but that was designed. They got left tackle to Kobe Cofield out lead blocking for the running back. Just beautiful touch on the throw, knowing where to go.
An 8-play, 63-yard drive orchestrated by offensive coordinator Kurt Roper, who after this game is on his way to Florida. And Duke performed brilliantly, and the Blue Devils have jumped on top by 7. As we count down, ringing in 2014, we're going to show you the top 5 plays by Johnny Manziel. Watch him put Mississippi State in the spin cycle. That's the one we've dubbed his 5th top moment at number 4 against Alabama and Kyle Field this year. Aggies trying to get back in the game, and as a way to do it, a 95-yard touchdown pass to Mike Evans. John Football was celebrating and checking in at number 3 in a 51-41 win against Mississippi State. Manziel showed his improved ability in the pocket, throwing 5 touchdown passes against the Bulldogs. We'll continue to count down Manziel's top moments of the night as he finds his team down 7-0 as we check in with Samantha.
Yeah, Reese, Johnny Manziel, a very demonstrative Johnny Manziel, frustrated on that last drive, took most of his time trying to gather up the entire offense and let him have it. Reese was telling him that wasn't smart football, that wasn't intense enough, that's not going to win this game. Kind of getting after him, yelling at him. Also, Kevin Sumlin came over to his wide receivers and said, hey, they're going to let them be physical with you. You have got to just play through. But one of the more interesting things I just heard down here, one of the A&M yell leaders just came up to me and he said, I cannot believe it. How is Duke louder than us right now? It's really shocking. If you've been to an A&M game, you know their fans can be very loud. Right now, Duke taking over.
Duke fans have traveled very well going to consecutive bowl games. First time, Manziel running it. Johnny appears to be much healthier than he was in the latter stages of the season. The good quickness and speed, picking up 8.5, maybe 9.
He is, but I still don't want him lowering his shoulder consistently. He's done it, you know, the first 2 drives already. He's finishing runs with a purpose, but as a quarterback, I don't want his shoulders getting hit if I'm a coach.
I mean, he's had a problem with his shoulder this year. That and the thumb have hampered him. Manziel going deep. Darrell Walker's out there, and Walker can't haul it in.
It's a really nice job of Johnny Manziel working through his progression. They faked a bubble screen. They were trying to get Mike Evans deep down the right sideline, but Mike Evans gets pushed out of bounds, so he's got to come off that back to his 3rd read, which is the post. Johnny Manziel just puts this barely out in front of Darrell Walker. But a nice job again. Manziel showing you how he's more committed to being a passer this year.
Big back Trey Carson is in with a couple of tight ends. Aggies pick up on short yardage.
Did you say a couple of tight ends?
Cameron Clear and Nehemiah Hicks both checked in. That's one of the things, David, we'll see from Spavital tonight. We're going to see more from 85 Cam Clear, and you're going to see more personnel groupings. Now, the flip side of that is it allows Duke to substitute also if A&M brings a different personnel group onto the field. Carson and Molina, that's Molina in motion, and Ben catches it in the flat. Molina turns the corner, still on his feet before he's knocked out of bounds close to first down yardage.
It's interesting watching Duke in this game right now, guys. Not sending a lot of pressure. They're just kind of sitting back, trying to keep the football in front of them, and obviously trusting that they can rally to the ball out in space and make tackles. Kind of a bend, don't break approach right now for Duke.
Molina stepped out at the 37, meaning the Aggies need 4 on 2nd down. Manziel, Walker right on the money into Duke territory and inside the 40.
And I think this is one of the things you're going to start to see with this offense. More play action, more pistol, more motions, more creativity, a little bit of play action. Freeze the linebacker, and you see it gives your receiver time to get behind him and make a big play. You need to do that as well as you run the football, especially with Johnny as that threat.
You can trust this offensive line right there. Nice job passing off all the movement from Duke.
After the 25-yard pickup, Manziel is blasted by Kelby Brown. Kelby Brown, 4th in the ACC in tackles. He's the guy they say could play for any program, and he laid the wood to Johnny Football.
First time tonight we've seen Duke get after the passer. You're going to see Brown coming off the left-hand side right through a gap, goes untouched, lays the lumber.
Is that what they meant by attacking him like a running back?
Yeah.
Kelby arrived with bad intentions. Aggies lost 4 on the play. Manziel fires it to Travis Labhart. Labhart knocked out of bounds, and he'll have enough for an A&M first down.
And it's not dirty, Reese, but quarterbacks nick the shoulder, hit the elbow, hit the arm as much as you can, and try to take some, body blows to the quarterback to wear him out. And usually it works throughout the course of a game.
Only Mike Evans, a wide receiver to the right side. Ross Cockrell was over there with him.
Got man coverage on Evans up top.
Evans and Cockrell. See if Johnny looks towards it. Cockrell covers him well. Johnny goes the other way. Back at the end zone for Labhart. Too far. It'll be 2nd and 10.
Guys, Johnny Manziel is in a groove right now throwing the football. And I know he just missed that one, but the 3 times I've counted he's missed tonight, he hasn't missed by a lot. He's spitting the football beautifully. This barely out of bounds. Texas A&M, you see here, Mike Evans. There's actually double coverage over on him that time with safety help. Duke obviously very aware of where big number 13 is lining up.
Second time tonight. A little quick push pass to Quip Gonzalez, and Duke snuffs it out this time. It'll be 3rd and long coming up. Cockrell on the stop, got some help from Justin Fox.
And this defense is very disciplined, very tough. They where they're supposed to be. You saw a great job, Jeremy Cash coming up and setting that edge, making that ball bounce back inside and not giving them an opportunity to skid outside.
3rd and 10. Heat coming from the secondary. Manziel unloads. Evans couldn't hold it. Cockrell, the all-ACC cornerback on the coverage.
Johnny Manziel was able to get rid of this football because of the blitz pickup by Trey Carson at running back, just stoning his safety.
And he threw it behind Evans. He needs to put that a little bit in front of him. Evans still could have caught the football, but he had the time, he had the protection. He's got to deliver that a little bit out in front of him so his guy can catch it on the move and the DB can't catch up with him.
And Josh Lambo missed from 55 earlier. Now he's going to try from 45, get the Aggies on the board. Lambo, powerful leg, and it splits the uprights. Texas A&M moves the ball well for the 2nd time. Duke rises up in its own end. It's 7-3 late in the first.
The 2013 Chick-fil-A Bowl is brought to you by Chick-fil-A. We didn't invent the chicken, just the chicken sandwich. The quick silver card from Capital One. Earn 1.5% cash back on every purchase. And Lexus. The Lexus December to Remember sales event is here, now through January 2nd.
The cash-out king, Ben Molina, hoisting the battle for the bowl belt. Texas A&M and Duke competed in a variety of things over the course of this bowl week, including a family feud type thing, a football feud that the Aggies won. If you're spending New Year's Eve with us, I'm glad you are. Send us some photos. Hashtag ESPN Watch Party. Want to see your New Year's Eve party, which involves this Chick-fil-A Bowl, which historically has been a close game. The series has been close since the ACC and SEC started the regional battle in 1992. The ACC with an 11-10 lead in the series, and right now, champions of the ACC Coastal, Duke on top of Texas A&M, 7-3. It's Taylor Bertolet. High, short kickoff that Devon Edwards, the dangerous Devon Edwards, will haul in. Edwards has taken a couple back for touchdowns, also has some pick sixes this year. Dangerous return man, but corralled this time. He'll ring in 2014 with a bevy of bowl games all over the place. AttackSlayer.com Gator Bowl features Nebraska and Georgia, 2 teams who played in the Capital One Bowl last year. This year's Cap One Bowl, Wisconsin and South Carolina. Jadeveon Clowney's farewell to college football. 1 o'clock Eastern time on ABC and on ESPN. The Outback Bowl, Iowa and LSU.
He might not get many opportunities to rush the passer against Wisconsin, though. Pad those stats a little bit. Nah, I don't think so.
Well, South Carolina will be tested in its resolve to stop the run. That's what Wisconsin does best. Melvin Gordon announcing that he's coming back for another season for the Badgers. Certainly that's good news for Gary Anderson, one of the more dynamic backs in the country. Juwan Thompson carrying the ball for the Blue Devils and a good pickup on first down.
Texas A&M is the worst defense in the SEC. And I think the reason they've struggled as much as they have, it's the inexperience on the defensive line. 7 freshmen or sophomores play up front. These guys haven't had a chance to redshirt, mature physically. They get pushed around a lot, and it's critical tonight that they're able to be physical and try and stop this running attack from Duke.
Anthony Boone got a man on a wheel route running free as Braxton Deaver, the tight end, and the Blue Devils are on the move.
So with youth comes inexperience, lack of eyes in the right spot. It's things that drives coaches crazy, and you see it right here. Duke doing a great job. They ran the football positive. Look at Boone. Right away, see that he got his man on the wheel route, hits him right away, gets it in his hands, lets him run with the football.
Safety Howard Matthews that lost his man on that play.
On first down, Boone taking a shot. Got a man out there again. It's on the money. It's Deaver again, and he falls down short of the end zone, but it'll be first and goal for Duke.
And they go right back after safety Howard Matthews with another pump fake, getting the football over his head. Johnny Manziel can't believe it. This has really been the MO all season long. You see Howard Matthews here at safety, number 31. Just watch here as they fake this wide receiver screen outside. He bites. That allows the tight end just get right behind him.
After pickups of 32 and 37, Boone threw the lob for John L. Barnes. It'll be second and goal to Shazer Everett on the coverage.
And again, this is the same movie that you've seen all year long as an A&M fan, because you put up 40 consistently except for the last 2 weeks, but the discipline in the back end. But look at that catch. Or did he catch it, Reese? Is that what you're looking at?
No, they're just showing it again. He gave him the catch. Brandon Connett, short yardage quarterback, is in. He's run for 13 touchdowns for the Blue Devils this year. Connett, big, powerful, finding his way. Let's make it 14 touchdowns. Blue Devils go up 13-3. Brandon Connett, part of a 2-quarterback system, goes in for the score, and it's been an emotional few weeks for Brandon Connett, whose mother, Nancy, is back home watching in California. Nancy was diagnosed with a brain tumor, had surgery. There were some complications. Brandon had to go home and spend several days at his mother's bedside. He was able to come back and rejoin the team. Been a tough thing for a very close-knit family. Not been able to find the origin of Nancy's tumor just yet. You see Brandon and his family, he's been a selfless type guy at quarterback, as he and Boone have worked together. And even when it was in question whether Brandon would be able to join the Blue Devils here in Atlanta for the Bowl, to show you the bond, the guy who packed up all of his stuff and made sure it would be here for him if he got to join the team was his fellow quarterback, Anthony Boone.
I think it's incredible that Brandon Connett's even here. The focus he has to get his head ready to play in this game, considering what's going on with his family. You know, he left his family on Christmas night to fly back out and be with his team because he wanted to play, he wanted to compete. Just tremendous commitment. And again, I don't know how he's doing.
When we send out our best wishes to the Connett family and wish for the very best in Nancy's recovery. David Cutcliffe was talking about the bond of that family and what an exemplary young man Brandon Connett is. Terrific player as well, responsible for 27 touchdowns. He's not just the short yardage quarterback. Earlier in the season, Anthony Boone suffered a broken collarbone. It was Connett who's led game-winning drives, thrown game-winning touchdown passes, and he puts his Blue Devils up 14-3 with his first rushing touchdown of the Chick-fil Bowl for him. And Duke has taken the ball twice, run it right down Texas A&M's throat. And David Cutcliffe told us yesterday, David, that this was a huge deal in terms of perception. And the Blue Devils have come out and hit them right in the face.
Huge for perception, huge for the program. I think it's important for any players to get their firsts. You know, they got to a bowl game last year. They didn't win. This year now coming out, making statements. All these people watching at home, you know, Texas A&M's got that swag. Duke wants to build that and show those recruits at home that they got something special brewing.
It's the biggest game in program history, guys. Let's face it, a chance to win their first bowl game since 1961, get to 11 wins, maybe be a top 15 team late. how much that would help recruiting.
A&M, Trey Carson picks up 1 or 2. The 1961 Cotton Bowl after the 1960 season was the last bowl victory for the Blue Devils. They beat Arkansas 7-6, and that is another milestone that Cutcliffe and the Blue Devils have talked about this week that they wanted to be able to put on the resume.
A lot of time in bowl games, we talk about which team wants to be there. And you saw how emotionally they were in the locker room early. They certainly do.
Manziel setting up a screen, and Duke is all over it. David Helton had Williams covered like a blanket.
And that was an excellent play. He sees it, but he could have grabbed Williams early, but he actually waited for the ball to get there to tackle him. A lot of guys kind of freak out at that linebacker spot and get nervous. Watch him, he sees it, but he doesn't grab onto him until the ball gets there and makes a great play.
It's a down and distance earlier where Duke decided to spy Johnny Manziel with 2 linebackers. Let's see if they do it again. No pressure.
Kelby Brown coming, so is Helton. They're picked up. Manziel has time, firing to the outside. Terrific grab by Darrell Walker for the Aggie first down.
Great grab, and Duke's confident playing man coverage on the outside, and these receivers for A&M have to step up. They have to make plays and make contested catches, what they haven't done so far. It's a heck of a throw to the sideline, too.
Walker is good for the Falcons. Both feet in bounds. There is a penalty flag over at the 41-yard line of the Blue Devils, and the officials from the American Athletic Conference tonight, led by referee Jeff McConaughey in the white hat, discussing what went wrong.
Big of a win would this be for Duke defensively if they could stop another Texas A&M drive, force them back, make them play it again. If this penalty were to be against Texas A&M, just continue building momentum.
After the play was over, personal foul, late hit, offense. Number 13. 15-yard penalty. Still first down.
That's 2 15-yard penalties on Mike Evans, and we'll take a look at this, but if this one's legit, he's got to have a seat for a while.
Yeah, he just needs to relax right now. We'll take a look again because I missed it watching it live. Just look at him at the top, going against Ross Cockrell again. One-on-one coverage, kind of swats him. Yeah, I mean, I don't really know. I don't know, David. I don't know why that's called.
The first one he had was absolutely dumb on his part, uncalled for on his part, selfish on his part. That was a bad call.
Looks like he was swatting the arms off of the defender.
Yeah. But the first one he had earlier in the game was absolutely his fault.
Aggies do get the first down, but they have to back up to the 25. Williams carrying it out close to the 30. But one thing that happens, David, when you put yourself in a position to draw scrutiny from the officials, as Mike Evans did with his demonstrative reaction in the end zone, they're watching it. Yep. And he took, even though I agree with you guys, I think that would have been better left alone. It looked like a swing. The officials already watching it. Dropped the flag. Manziel firing on the slant. Darrell Walker up close to the 40. First down for the Aggies.
Texas A&M's had a lot of opportunities in the play-action game. They've gotten back to running the football more conventionally, a lot more early in this game. That's causing those linebackers to creep up closer to the line of scrimmage to give themselves those chances.
Manziel quickly. Labhart knocked down for a loss. Jeremy Cash in there to knock down the A&M receiver.
And Mike Evans now hasn't been on the field because of the penalty, and it affects your offense. Now he comes back on the field, and this is a guy that has been lethal all year long. 1,300+ yards, one of the best receivers in the game. His physical presence on the outside commands a double team. You need him out there.
Plenty of time. Manziel throws it underneath for Malcolm Kennedy. I mean, Duke's secondary is everywhere. Devon Edwards making the tackle. Third down coming up.
Johnny Manziel has to be great on third down here tonight. The last 3 games, he has really struggled on this critical down and distance. He's not been accurate. He's missed open receivers. This is the money down. NFL quarterbacks, their careers sometimes are defined by how good they are on this down. Tonight, he's got to be great.
Aggies have converted twice in 4 opportunities inside a minute to play in the first quarter. Pressure coming. Aggies pick it up. Manziel too high for Kennedy. It'll be 4th down.
And Duke again. They bring the corner blitz. They brought it a couple times. Feeling pretty confident. Manziel's not real happy.
He is all up in Mike Evans' kitchen, and we've seen these two guys kind of go at it the last couple of games, the LSU game and the Missouri game.
They're both very emotional players, but as leaders, they got to show.
Blocked! The punt is blocked by the Blue Devils. They wait on it to fall from the Georgia Dome sky, and Duke couldn't corral it. They might have scored a touchdown, but Duke is in business. Josh Snead, the running back, getting the block, and the Blue Devils have a huge opportunity.
Special teams has been a strong point for Duke all season long. You're going to see here just untouched. Coming off the edge is Snead. Tell you what, Texas A&M, they're very lucky that didn't bounce more fortuitously for Duke. An opportunity to scoop and score.
We're waiting on that thing to come down forever.
But how impressive has Duke been so far in this game, guys, in all three facets: offense, defense, and special teams.
DeAndre Bennett was there to grab it. Take a shot right here.
Right here, absolutely.
There's number 3.
You got man coverage again.
Right here in the slot.
Braxton Deaver, normally a tight end, is lined up wide to the right. He's already had a couple of big catches. Blue Devils will keep it on the ground with Juwan Thompson, and Thompson powers his way inside the 20.
We talked earlier about how Texas A&M needs to settle down on offense. You see Johnny Manziel, when he came off the field, he spikes his helmet on the ground right away, looks for Mike Evans to tell him to relax, and Evans kind of just pushes him off. I'm like, all right, dude, I got it. Manziel wanted to try and calm him down. I think everybody on that offense now just needs to chill out, settle down, get their heads back in this game.
It's been Duke all season that has rallied from huge deficits. The Blue Devils have an opportunity to put the Aggies in a huge hole in the first quarter. First quarter comes to a close as the clock strikes 0, but as we open the second period in Atlanta, Duke will have the ball at the Texas A&M 19, trying to go up 21-3. A first quarter dominated by the Blue Devils. Is this Johnny Manziel's swan song? So far, the first verse hasn't been promising for him.
Anthony Boone, Duke University quarterback, and I want to wish everybody from the 704 a Happy New Year's.
How you doing? Devontae Harris, Texas A&M, cornerback. Me and my big homie would like to wish everybody out there a Happy New Year's. Love you, Harris family. Thanks to Giggle.
And we send along our New Year's wishes as well. Big homie wearing Texas A&M jersey, and it is Duke with a 2nd and 5 at the A&M 19, already up 14-3 as we start the second quarter. Keep it on the ground, Juwan Thompson. And right now, Duke is having its way with A&M. And what a first quarter for Josh Snead, who's taking a break right now. A touchdown catch and a blocked punt. You'll recall it was Snead in the Belt Bowl who fumbled last year on the Cincinnati 6 late in the game as Duke was going in to win. Bearcats ended up winning that game by a couple of touchdowns, scoring late as Duke tried to get back in it. Now the Blue Devils trying to build a commanding lead. Boone on the keeper. Anthony Boone inside the 5, stretching for the goal line. He's in. Touchdown. We'll see if Boone indeed got in before his forearm, elbow, or rear end hit the ground. Here's a good look at it. He stretched the ball. That's not smart. Rear end still up.
What about his left arm on the other side? You couldn't see.
So both Duke quarterbacks have run for a touchdown, assuming this one stands. And what a way to start for Duke, not only because of the score right now. When you play an offense as prolific as A&M's, a quarterback as dynamic as Manziel, you have to be productive on offense. Duke has been. Boone stretches it for the first down. He's still up there.
His left arm goes down afterwards, but I don't think you see enough to
Yeah, that's
Crowder.
Matthews' arm.
Crowder doing a great job of being in the way right there. That's perfect. Inconclusive. Play on the field will stand.
Well, that's what you need, right? You need indisputable video evidence to overturn the call. Of course, the call on the field is that it is a touchdown.
Does the towel count as part of the being on the ground? Because the towel looked like he was on the ground.
That's going to stand.
I think he's gonna
Replay confirms the ruling on the field. At the quarterback extended the ball across the goal line prior to his knee being down. Touchdown.
And Duke's feeling it right now, Reese. You're absolutely right. Offense rolling, defense getting stops. Got a critical play on special teams.
Shell-shocked on the other side.
Almost
What
looks of
just happened?
disbelief. (21-3). Kevin Sumlin's team finds itself in a huge and perhaps unexpected hole. We'll start with the BCS games on New Year's Day, and then the day after New Year's, a battle between two of the most storied programs in the sport. A lot of crimson on display in the Louisiana Superdome. Oklahoma taking on Alabama. Coverage starts at 8 p.m. Eastern Time on Thursday. SportsCenter and College Football Live will be there throughout the day, and you can always see every ESPN Bowl game and all the BCS games on the Watch ESPN app.
It's really important right now. Texas A&M is able to answer on offense. They've got to settle down. We've talked about that a lot. That falls incumbent upon Johnny Manziel and Mike Evans, the leaders in this offense. Settle down. They've got to find a way to generate points and gain momentum back. We heard Sam say earlier, it's louder in here for the Duke side. That's weird. It is New Year's Eve.
It's not weird if it's Cameron Indoor.
Hey, Duke's trying to get weird right now on New Year's Eve, and they are. And it's incumbent that Johnny Football and Texas A&M get back in this.
This week, you got the feeling that A&M respected what Duke had accomplished, but didn't feel the Blue Devils could match up with them physically. If that's what they thought, they better change the way they think. 21-3 Blue Devils in the kick, driving Williams deep into his own end zone, and the Aggies will bring it out to the 25. Johnny Manziel's had some moments between the lines, but more demonstrative on the sideline, trying to rally his team. He was as hyped as he's been on game day, perhaps foreshadowing this is his last game as an Aggie, though that is certainly not official. He and Mike Evans, two of the more emotional guys on the team, getting together. Evans has had a couple of costly penalties in the early going. One which derailed the opening drive of the game, led to a missed field goal, and all the Aggies have been able to muster is 3 points. Manziel running it again. Johnny gets across the 30. He's knocked down by Jonathan Woodruff.
And that's one of the things that I'm curious about this offense. Last year, remember, they had Jokel, #2 pick. Matthews is a top 5 pick. You got another right tackle that's a first-round type talent. Why you can't just pound the football at times? Just be stronger and more physical.
Manziel to Malcolm Kennedy. Kennedy racing into Duke territory. He stepped out of bounds. Official comes up and marks him out of bounds at the 49-yard line.
And Mike Evans has made some bonehead plays. He did a great job blocking down the field for his guy, but he clearly stepped out before he tried to cut that up. Look at Evans fighting downfield. That's good. That's a good sign.
Maybe that's what Johnny was getting on him about. Attention to detail. Evans, bottom of your screen. Ross Cockrell right up in his face. Now Cockrell bails out. Manziel looking toward Evans. Got him. Evans inside the 25 before Cockrell knocks him down. First down for the Aggies.
It's dangerous, I think, when you give access to Mike Evans. Don't press him and allow him to come in unimpeded off the line of scrimmage, running into a wide open zone. It's an easy throw for Johnny Manziel. Duke not able to get pressure in his face. That's just pitch and catch. Look at all the time he's got.
Now from the 23. Manziel got a man. Touchdown A&M. It's Travis Labhart.
We're going to see Labhart working in the slot just on a corner route against a freshman. We talked about the inexperience in this secondary for Duke. Devon Edwards, he just gets completely spun around. And again, easy pitch and catch. And there's the answer by Texas A&M. And it took how many? 4 plays?
And he was watching the show. He had his eyes in the backfield. Coach told him not to watch the show. He was watching it. Watch your receiver, my man.
Lambeau puts through the extra point. Manziel and the Aggies in the end zone for the first time tonight. So the answer, the Blue Devils' latest score. Duke has it back when you come back. Capital One Bowl Week continues New Year's Day. Granddaddy of them all. The 100th Rose Bowl game. Top 5 matchup between Stanford and Michigan State. The Cardinal have the longest active streak of appearances in BCS Bowls, and they are the reigning Rose Bowl champion after beating Wisconsin last year. They will take on Michigan State, champions of the Big Ten, and the much improved Connor Cook. Coverage starts on ESPN at 4:30 Eastern Time. Beautiful Pasadena. No greater setting for a bowl game than the Rose Bowl on New Year's afternoon. San Gabriel Mountains in the background. We've got a good one going here in Atlanta tonight. Texas A&M scored its first touchdown of the night. Duke has been unstoppable so far. Blue Devils up 21-10, and they have the ball back. That Stanford-Michigan State Rose Bowl matchup, a compelling one. All three of us have said many times we're used to seeing and looking forward to seeing the old school smash mouth football. Which quarterback, 2 improved quarterbacks, which one has a better opportunity for big success tomorrow?
That's a great question. I think it's Kevin Hogan. I think he has more big play opportunities deep down the field. When you look at guys like Ty Montgomery and Devin Kajust and Michael Rector, there's some big throws he's got to take advantage of. We know Stanford wants to play in a phone booth. They're going to run the football, try and do it down your throat. But when you've got the opportunities, you've got to hit those shots, which he hasn't always done this year.
And he's also got a better offensive line, I think. You got an offensive line that's versatile, that can nasty, mean, that's just experienced. So I think that Hogan's better set up for success too.
Anthony Boone on first down as Jamison Crowder. Crowder, very quick twitch guy, picks up a first down for the Blue Devils. You're going to make it out to Pasadena in time for kickoff, aren't you?
Yeah, we'll be out there kicking it around, little pregame, little halftime, little postgame.
You've got to be like a triple platinum Delta Sky Miles right now. I mean, the amount of flying and the distance you've gone this year.
When you go commercial, you get a lot of miles, baby.
That catch gave Jamison Crowder a tie for the ACC record, and now that catch makes him the single-season record holder, his 99th catch. He passes Kenneth Moore of Wake Forest, who set that mark in 2007.
And he's got to get his touches tonight. He is the X factor for this Duke offense, their best offensive player. He's good in the short game. He's their best deep threat. They hand it off to him. Sometimes they'll let him throw it. When you went back and watched the ACC title game against a very good athletic Florida State defense, he was the only guy I thought on Duke's offense that belonged on the field. He's got to get his touches tonight.
I like that Duke's still got their foot on the accelerator with a couple passes. They're getting what they want on the outside. Keep taking advantage of it.
Boone taking a shot. Crowder's out there. Crowder's got it. Touchdown, Blue Devils. "59 yards, and Howard Matthews gets smoked by Crowder.
Foot fully on accelerator. Take advantage of your guys on the outside. But I like, good job putting him in the slot. And he just runs right by Howard Matthews, the safety. And Boone again, dropping a dime in there. I mean, he's been playing great all game so far. Hits him in stride.
Duke saw something on film. That is the 3rd time tonight they've gone after Howard Matthews down the field.
Duke fans are excited, and rightfully so. But with offensive coordinator Kurt Roper headed to Florida, there are a few Gators that are pretty excited about the type of offense they're seeing from the Blue Devils so far. Duke dropping the hammer, up 28-10.
The 2013 Chick-fil-A Bowl is brought to you by Chick-fil-A. We didn't invent the chicken, just the chicken sandwich. Verizon. Holiday savings on the gifts everyone wants. And M&M's. Chocolate's better with M.
Milkshake making competition, part of the battle for the bowl this week. Guys on both teams had a ball doing all these different things. And once the game has started, Anthony
Boone's having a ball.
He's the one. He could get free milkshakes for life once it's permissible after he graduates.
Exactly. Well said.
28-10 as Boone and Crowder put on a show. Kurt Roper's.
What's he got his hands in his head for?
You know how coaches are. They worry about everything. Touchback on the kickoff. Aggies will have it at the 25, as they did last time before they marched with their touchdown. Executives from Chick-fil-A and the Chick-fil-A Bowl presented presidents of both universities with $100,000 scholarship checks earlier tonight. Endowed scholarship donations now bring the Bowl's total to more than $2.7 million in endowments. 20 ACC and SEC schools, the schools who have participated in the Chick-fil-A Bowl. Let's see, we played 18 minutes, 11 seconds of football, and look at all the points and yards we have. Johnny makes Kelby Brown miss. Pirouette makes another man miss. Here's a little Johnny football for you. Hey, we're not waiting till midnight to shoot off the fireworks. Manziel scrambling, some vintage Manziel.
I just don't know how he does it. It's the sixth sense, as if he's got eyes on the back of his head. You see right here, makes Kelby Brown miss. He changes direction as good as anybody I've seen since Michael Vick.
And he never gives up on a play. A lot of guys are hemmed up. They're like, you know what, I'm just going to slide, take a knee, go down. He's doing another pirouette to try to save some more yards and make a big play.
Manziel, Williams dancing, bouncing. He has the first down. Terrific run by Trey Williams to move the chains.
Well, that last play was really the first time we've seen Johnny Manziel scramble in this game, and Duke's coaches talk to their players about every snap defending two plays. You got to defend the play called, and then when he starts scrambling and taking off, you've got to defend that as well.
Someone's defense hasn't been able to get off the field last drive. Manziel led his team down. Here goes Johnny running, and Johnny's across the yellow line they draw out there so that everybody knows where the first down is.
It's like Justin Fox, defensive end, slow getting up on this play. You'll see again, blitzing by the linebackers, forcing Johnny Manziel out of the pocket. There's Justin Fox kind of late to the party in the tackle. He's still on the ground.
Fox is their best technician along the defensive line. He landed hard as he was trying to track down Manziel, and they're looking at his right knee. Fox has rehabilitated a knee before, say wore out an underwater treadmill, getting ready to get back on the field. Capital One Bowl Week continues New Year's night. A potential quarterback shootout again. Blake Bortles is skyrocketing up mock draft boards. He hasn't announced yet what his plans are for the NFL draft. Bryce Petty put up huge numbers. UCF and Baylor, both teams looking for their first BCS win. UCF making it into a BCS game for the first time. Coverage beginning on ESPN at 8:30 Eastern time, and you're making it. No, that'll be New Year's night. You're going, where are you going, Orange Bowl?
Going to the Orange Bowl, brher.
Get some Ohio State and Clemson.
That's your boys, isn't it?
Trying to get weird Miami.
South Beach.
Great time of year seeing the elite teams in college football, seeing two very good ones here tonight as Trey Williams gets down to the 45 of Duke. It'll be second and about 3. According to our Todd McShay, I mentioned Blake Bortles, who you'll see in that Tostitos Fiesta Bowl. Second only to Teddy Bridgewater among NFL prospects. Johnny Manziel ranking just behind. Back to the ground. Williams to the 40, first down, Aggies.
I think one difference we're seeing in this offense with Jake Spavital at the helm, they're going a lot faster. The tempo is really quick. Before, when Clarence McKinney was calling plays, the play call had to come from the booth down through Spavital to Johnny Manziel on the field. Now it's just coming directly from the sidelines, and as a result, they're going faster.
And you know what's happening right now? They're trying to give their defense a rest. I mean, they've been out there so much, and they always go so quick. They're actually slowing it down, it looks like, a little bit, and running the football consistently now.
Manziel running out of time. Johnny got drilled as he threw it away. He got sandwiched. That was Kenny Ananicki in there to hit him.
Very good job by Duke's defense containing Johnny Manziel with defensive ends. Watch number 42 here at the bottom of the screen. Desmond Johnson going to rush inside, and there's Ananicki up top. Not over pursuing the play, just staying outside, not getting deeper than the quarterback, and just leveling number 2.
And that was Jake Matthews. That's one of the best offensive tackles in college football that Ananicki just went by.
Ananicki's their tough guy. He's the guy Jim Knowles says you want in a street fight. He's a sixth-year senior. One of the heart and soul players on this Duke squad. 2nd and 10. Manziel right on the money to Darrell Walker. Another first down for the Aggies.
We're seeing Duke being a lot more aggressive now, blitzing Johnny Manziel at man-to-man coverage outside, trying to force him to throw the football into small windows.
Aggies have moved it from their own 25 just inside the Duke 30. 8th play of the drive coming up. Manziel underneath. Quay Williams knocked down just inside the 25 by David Helton.
David, you had mentioned the offensive line before, just how skilled they are and how much talent they have. They're doing a really good job tonight with all this movement. Again, Duke's not LSU last year up front, the defensive line. So they got to move guys around and try and get pressure. But right now, Texas A&M doing a pretty good job when Duke only sends 4.
Manziel, Labhart, who had the touchdown catch, has enough for the first down.
And Manziel's pass first all the way. He's looking for his guys down the field, and he's throwing ropes to the outside. He's throwing deep balls, putting plenty of arc underneath it. He's doing a little bit of everything that we've seen him be. Really, this is the part of his game that's matured this 2nd season as a starting quarterback.
Johnny 17 of 24 passing. He's going to run it this time. He takes a couple of big shots. Justin Fox back in there to finish him off. The first guy to hit him was Devon Edwards.
And I think this is really where Texas A&M's offense is so dangerous in the red area because of Johnny Manziel's ability to run the football. Puts so much stress on the defense. And this is an area you can't allow him to scramble around. If you're Duke, you've got to contain him in this area of the field.
Johnny, the corner, knocked out of bounds. Manziel will help David Helton up. It was Helton who was greeting him rudely along the sideline. 3rd and 1 coming.
Take a look at their red zone numbers. 71% of the time scoring touchdowns. That's really good. And it's because they're able to run the football. This is big again, guys. We talked about how A&M had to come back in their previous offensive possession, score a touchdown, get back in it. Well, Duke answered with a home run to Jamison Crowder, trying to go toe-for-toe.
Trey Carson. Carson hit in the backfield as Duke controls the line of scrimmage. Kelby Brown.
I think the play was messed up a little bit from the beginning. Just the shotgun snap was a little bit high for Johnny, a little bit off to the left. But look at Kelby. Kelby Brown comes flying in there right at the. It's so deep. See that shotgun snap? He's 6-7 yards deep.
Texas A&M deciding to go for it here on 4th down. Big reason why. Their defense can't stop Duke.
Exactly. 4th and 4.
Evans down here is pretty legit.
Manziel to Labhart. Touchdown, Aggies. How about the former women's basketball team practice player, Travis Labhart, with 2 touchdowns in the Chick-fil-A Bowl tonight?
Take a look at the accuracy on this throw. Why Johnny Manziel throws his wide receiver open. You're going to get a wheel route by a slot receiver, Labhart, and he puts this on the back shoulder away from true freshman DeAndre Singleton.
And took something off it, too, because he was wide open.
13 plays, 75 yards, and gave the Aggie defense a little bit of a rest by eating up more than 5 minutes on the clock. So A&M closest within 28-17. We know Manziel can move the ball. The question is, can the Aggies find a way to stop Duke?
The Capital One Bowl, Wisconsin, South Carolina, New Year's Day at 1 on ABC.
John Saunders back in the studio. This instant replay brought to you by the new Surface from the Sun Bowl, UCLA, Virginia Tech. Brett Hundley had quite a day. Goes 86 yards on this touchdown run, part of a 42-14 win. Hundley ran for 2. He threw for 2 more as UCLA walked off with the victory. Reese, Happy New Year.
John, Happy New Year to you, my friend. That was not a good outing for the ACC team. First half of the Chick-fil-A Bowl has been very good for the champions of the Coastal Division. Duke on top of Texas A&M, 28-17. Johnny Manziel just threw his second touchdown pass. The A&M fans, they know that this could be Johnny's swan song, so they're asking for one more year. Manziel has not made it official. It's just been widely presumed that he'll move on to the NFL.
Should change that to one stop. Can we get one stop from our defense?
How about this, David? Not only A&M's defense has been so bad, they've only forced 1 3rd down. Duke converted it. Duke's had it 4 times, scored 4 touchdowns.
On 19 plays, Reese, on 19 offensive plays, they've got 28 points.
Better than a point of play. That's good, huh?
Solid.
That would be good production for Krzyzewski's offense. Aerial coverage provided by Goodyear. Everything Goodyear has learned making tires that go the distance inspires what they roll into yours. Goodyear, more driven. New Year's Eve in Atlanta, big festivities downtown. They dropped the peach. And what's been dropping pretty much from opening day for Texas A&M, it's defensive ranks. They've led the SEC in total offense, but ranked dead last in total defense.
Yeah, and it's been consistent. And Johnny and the offense will put up 40, 14 weeks in a row, and you're still losing ball games over the past couple years. And they got to come up big now. Somebody's got to man up and get the ball back to their offense.
Anthony Boone's had a terrific first half. So too is Josh Snead. And Snead gets out across the 30. Now, one guy missing from that Texas A&M defense, middle linebacker Darian Claiborne. He's a freshman who over the course of the season really emerged as a leader. He was suspended following his arrest on misdemeanor drug possession charges. Kevin Sumlin leaving him home, so Jordan Mastrogiovanni, number 45, manning Claiborne's spot. It hasn't really been the linebackers necessarily, but it's really been everybody. And the secondary's given up some big plays. Boone keeps it. Anthony Boone has the first down. Darian Claiborne, freshman out of Port Allen, Louisiana, suspended for the bowl game. 89 tackles, led the team. He led the team in tackles for loss. He was starting to understand the defense, and now he's out for this game.
He was becoming a leader. He can run very, very well, and he was a big-time hitter. He brought a physicality to a front seven that really lacked physicality.
And he made all the calls. Now you have to teach another freshman to do it behind him.
And Mark Snyder has had a lot of guys making their debut on defense this year. Boone checked down and didn't give Snead an opportunity to run with it. That was one of the rare miscues in the first half for Anthony Boone.
As we keep talking about this Texas A&M defense, guys, it's just important, and it was important, that they play well tonight. Try and generate momentum heading into next year. We know they've been ridiculed all season long. We talked about how young they are. You know what? You're not freshmen anymore.
No.
When you get to bowl week and you've got those 15 extra practices, it's eventually time to grow up. Stop playing like underclassmen.
Boone on second down. Jamison Crowder is slammed to the ground. Stephen Jenkins, senior on defense, making the stop, and just the second third down the Blue Devils have faced tonight coming up. That's a pretty good drive chart. Are you grading that?
That's what that gets. Happy New Year's. That's a very good start to the game, I think you would say. Florida Gator fans rejoice.
And here's a big third down where what are you going to do if you're A&M? You've been toasted in man coverage. You haven't been able to generate a pass rush either. Boone's been picking you apart. How do you attack? They got to get some kind of pressure on Boone.
Needs 4 on third down. Did he hang on to it? The ball bobbled up by Brandon Braxton. He held on to it, but didn't quite get enough for the first down.
I think Brandon Braxton has to understand where the sticks are. I don't think he ran his route at the appropriate depth. This throw a little bit behind the wide receiver, had to come back and get it. If it had been put out in front of him, he may have had a chance to run and catch and get upfield, but I think you've got to know, and he's a senior, where those sticks are. Get the right depth to give yourself an opportunity.
It's typical out of you, quarterback.
So dude, it's never our fault.
He could have thrown it in front of him, let him run ahead a little bit, get the first down. Interesting decision for Duke.
Never our fault.
Now.
Never our fault.
Duke is 10 for 13 on 4th and 1. David Cutcliffe has his offense on the field. Ball on his own 47. It's not a short one. Looking across the way at the chains, it's a full yard the Blue Devils need, but the Aggies Haven't been able to stop them much tonight.
I love the call. And I'd run right behind my right guard, Locken Tomlinson.
And I'd run the zone read, let my quarterback read it, and let him have the ability to run because they haven't stopped that play yet.
Boone has it, give it to the running back, pick it up easily and still on his feet. Juwan Thompson. He not only got the first down, he got inside field goal range for the Blue Devils.
Juwan Thompson, their biggest, most physical running back at 5'11", 225, showing you the balance and the nifty feet right here. Just barely gets tripped up. Texas A&M lucky he couldn't done a better job with his balance. He might have scored, but gamble pays off.
Thompson in his home state. He's a senior from Fairburn, Georgia. Boone. Little too high for Max McCaffrey, son of Ed McCaffrey. We take another look at the run from Juwan Thompson.
And look at the left side. There's no big bodies there. You see a linebacker absolutely run right out of the play, and you got one guy to make a play right there, and he doesn't do it. Honeycutt, but I mean that's easy. That's too easy to come up and diagnose and see. There's no big bodies over here. I'll run where the small bodies are.
And the Blue Devils have it at the Aggies 35, 2nd and 10. Boone is looking for Thompson out there to be 3rd and 10. Stephen Jenkins applying some pressure.
3rd and 10.
A rarity.
Wow.
Haven't said anything of the sort tonight. Blue Devils just converted on 4th down. They've only had 2 third downs tonight.
Well, and you wonder if this is 4-down territory again for offensive coordinator Kurt Roper and this Duke offense. Pedal to the metal, man. It's the attitude they've had all game.
See if they look for Crowder. He's been quiet on this particular drive. He's top of the screen. Boone firing for Crowder. He's got it, but he's out of bounds, short of the 1st down marker. Going to need about 1.5 yards. Now, what do? Go for it again?
Absolutely. I got full confidence in my offensive line. I got full confidence in my decision-making by Boone, where to go with the football. He knows where to run the football and where to check to. Roll the dice.
I like the call, too. You have the most accurate kicker in school history in Ross Martin, and you'd love to just take the points, but with the way your offensive line is dominating up front right now, absolutely just run the football again.
Hard count at first, trying to get him to jump.
I wouldn't even risk it.
Play clock. They're going to have to call a timeout, it looks like. And the Blue Devils do, with 3:01 remaining in the 1st half. Want to make sure
you get the ball
not rushing and get this one right.
You get the ball at the half. So, it's definitely, the smart decision is to kick a field goal. I'm just saying, the way I'm grooving and the way I would be feeling as a play call. If I'm Roper right now, I'm just like, whatever I'm going to dial up is going to work, and I just would feel really confident right now.
Well, and keep in mind, Texas A&M has been gashing your defense on the last 2 drives as well, too. You kind of, I think, understand right now, if you're Kurt Roper as a play caller and if you're head coach David Cutcliffe, this may be a shootout. You're going to need to score points.
Well, Anthony Boone has been razor sharp. He's hit 12 of 16 passes, thrown for 207 yards. Also ran for a touchdown, showing the strength, staying on his feet just barely, and then threw the laser to Jamison Crowder. Blue Devils have had it 4 times, scored 4 touchdowns, but to keep that streak alive, they'll have to convert on 4th down for the 2nd time on this drive. 4th and 1, they're calling it officially. 11 for 14 now on the season for the Blue Devils on 4th and 1. This is a long one, probably actually closer to 2. A lot of Aggies close to the line of scrimmage. The give, still driving the feed, and the 2nd effort for Thompson appeared to get him enough for the 1st down. This is going to depend on the spot.
But the 2nd time, guys, on 2 consecutive 4th and shorts, the Texas A&M's defense has had an opportunity to make a stop behind the line of scrimmage, and they can't get it done.
And that time,
1st down, they're moving the chains.
Mastro Giovanni was there. If they do this again on 4th and short, I'm bringing in an extra D lineman. But you see on the left side, you see linebackers too, again, getting washed out of the mix. But look at him drive his feet and continue to push forward. That's just a great individual effort by Thompson.
and Tomlinson. It looked like there were a lot of Aggies there, and he cleared just enough space for Thompson to pick it up. Now Texas
30
A&M's
second
call a timeout.
Review the
Texas
spot.
A&M.
I don't know. I didn't see that someone has challenged it.
But call a timeout, give him a chance to look at it.
We have Al Hines, the coordinator of replay officials, in the booth with us tonight. And there is a challenge now. So Al joins us. So Al, from your vantage point, as we see A&M is challenging that 4th down spot, what did you see?
I saw that he was very close to the first down marker. I'm a little concerned about where his knees are and where the position of the ball is.
Okay, so his knee is down just short of the first down line, but it appeared that the ball potentially was extended beyond that as his knee went down. And remember, it is where the ball is when the knee went down. And now you see the ball clearly is
that's close,
just short of the 25. Is there enough to overturn that in your judgment, Al?
It's very, very close.
So no?
Okay, so I'm going to put you on the spot, Al. If you're sitting in the booth, what is your judgment on this?
I just want to see the chains. I want to see the chains brought in and what the spot is.
The spot looks pretty spot on. If you show the ball right now, it's right short of the 25.
Take a look how close this is right
Knee
here.
down.
Yeah, I mean, the tip of the football right there, you know, where that marker is up top.
But if you show where the ball is now, it looks pretty good to me.
And Al, here's the other issue. The chains have already moved and made it first down. So what kind of problem potentially does that present, if any?
Well, you could recreate the chain position. You can always do that.
How accurate is that?
It would be very, very accurate.
Still don't understand why we can't get, like, you know, a laser beam from one side to the other to measure these first downs.
Like in tennis?
Yeah.
And after the replay booth had a look at A&M's challenge, the play stands is called on the field, so it'll be a first down for Duke at the Texas A&M 25.
You know what's been great about this drive? They've been eating up clock. Just saw Johnny Manziel on the sidelines, not allowing the A&M offense to score because they can't be on the field and trying to chew as much clock as they can at the end of the half because we know they get the football back first in the second.
That could be huge. Duke could score here, and they haven't been stopped tonight.
Keep running.
Get it back first. Could almost, I don't know if you could ever put a game out of reach with Manziel on the other side, but the mountain would be extraordinarily high. Snead inside the 20. Snead inside the 10. Snead. 5 possessions, 5 touchdowns. The Blue Devils are rolling in again.
This is just a simple zone play, guys. Look at all the movement this offensive line gets working to the right-hand side, just pushing Maroon Helmet's back.
Look at that cutback.
It's great vision. You got a block downfield by Crowder, and then just great open field running.
Look at Crowder not quitting.
He just, he depleted DeShazer Everett. We're talking about a guy that already has 100 yards receiving tonight. He set a record for single-season catches in the ACC with over 100 now. And he goes out and makes a huge block on the 25-yard touchdown run by Josh Snead.
Did you see him waving at his running back, telling him, hey, cut back, cut back. I've got this guy lined up. Look at him right there pointing. Come on back. I've got him. Bang. Face music.
And you know, if that's the old Rock'em Sock'em Robots game, Everett's head goes, yee.
Try, personal foul. Face mask. 17, 15-yard penalty. Replay the try.
Surprised he didn't get a targeting call there.
So Snead has a 25-yard touchdown run, an 11-yard touchdown catch. He blocked a punt. Snead, who had a rough end to his bowl game last year, atoning.
Yeah. That's what I'm talking about.
Look at Crowder.
Hopefully he's not doing one for every point because he's going to be worn out.
He must have done something wrong somewhere along that possession because generally your punishment in practice is when you get a mental error is you've got to do push-ups. So I wonder what it was.
Ask DeShazer Everett if he did anything wrong.
Not on that play.
Yeah.
DeShazer's still wondering where all those bells he's hearing coming from. Now, you saw the face mask penalty was on Duke. So now they've backed them up on the try, taking the 35th point off the board. And as David mentioned a few moments ago, Ross Martin, very accurate kicker, has some range. Going to have the extra point from 36 yards out. So Martin,
easy,
no problem. Still makes it 35-17. So this is big for Manziel and the Aggies since Duke gets the ball to start the second half. They need to get something on the board before halftime. Let's take a closer look. The Capital One Bowl preview. Wisconsin taking on South Carolina. New Year's Day, 1 o'clock Eastern on ABC, and the farewell to Jadeveon Clowney.
Yeah, good luck rushing the passer against Wisconsin. I mean, it's not. He's going to have to play the big boy run, and Melvin Gordon in that offense, James White. That's been a fun offense to watch. But Clowney closing out his career.
He's going to need help. And Kelsey Quarles and Chaz Sutton, these guys are going to have to stop the run on first and second down to set up obvious passing situations for Jadeveon Clowney to get after. And don't forget about South Carolina's offense. And Connor Shaw, 21 touchdowns, only 1 pick on the season. You got Ellington outside,
Davis.
Bird, Davis,
Forget about the monster in the backfield.
Yeah, you got Davis in the backfield. I mean, there's some weapons outside. They'll score points against what's been a pretty good Wisconsin defense this season. It's going to be a fun game to watch.
This is the 1,000th football game in Duke history. You would be hard-pressed over the previous 999 games to find a better offensive first half. Now, A&M's been dreadful, and they haven't been nearly as tough as Duke. Duke goes for the onside kick. They let it bounce. They got a great shot to recover it. I think they did. You want to talk about rolling the dice. Was that Juwan Thompson? Juwan Thompson was the one who had a great shot at it. Let's see if he comes out of the bottom of the pile with it. Blue Devils have it.
I love the play calling by Duke. We've talked about how this has been such a big part of their team's success all season long. Look at the blocks downfield by 29. Allowing Juwan Thompson to jump on that football. And guys, Juwan Thompson, a huge special teams contributor. Not only does he lead the team in special teams tackles with 10, but just Johnny on the spot.
They've blocked a punt. They've recovered an onside kick. They have outplayed, outcoached, out-hit, out-hustled Texas A&M in every aspect of the game in the first half.
They have the best kicker and punter in school history. They've had 4 return touchdowns on special teams this year. Starters want to play on special teams and contribute. And that's a testament to tremendous coaching. When you see great special teams play, it filters all the way down. Special teams has played. It's a big reason why, guys, they've won 10 games this year.
A reeling Aggie defense back out there. Sneed's into the secondary, and he has a first down.
And this offensive line has taken over. We talked about at the start of the game how it was the key for this offense. They're very blue collar. Right now they're getting push up front in the run game. They've given Anthony Boone a tremendous pocket to throw from all game long. These guys have taken this game over.
And now running all these plays, they're wearing out A&M. This is what A&M likes to do to everybody else, is wear them out late. Right now they're wearing them out early and often.
Blue Devils averaging more than 10 yards per play. Sneed picks up a few. So now there's more evidence. There's another progress report here. How's the Duke grade on the drive chart going?
Right now,
I need another plus. Yes, that's what I'm talking about.
I mean, it doesn't get better than that.
David Cutcliffe is one of the best offensive coaches, one of the best quarterback coaches in college football in recent years. His offense coordinator Kirk Roper's putting on a show. Sneed finds a hole. Aggies close it up. Mastro Giovanni on the tackle. Third down coming up as we head down toward the 110 mark to play here in the first half.
And guys, where's Johnny Manziel? He's on the sidelines.
Nope.
He's been there for a very long time. Texas A&M cannot win if he's not on the field. And again, this Duke offense just chewing up the clock. They are going to try and get the last score before halftime, before getting the ball back first in the second half.
On third down, Shaq Powell and a running back. Powell has the first down. Powell's playing with a knee brace tonight. You can't tell it as he moves that maroon pile. 48 seconds left to play in the half. Duke has a timeout. Clock will stop as the chains move.
This has been demoralizing in every way possible for Texas A&M. Offense, defense, special teams. running the football down your throat. You can't make a greater statement if you're Duke right now. They took you lightly. They were very, very mistaken.
A lot of time ticking off the game clock.
There's number 3.
Boone fired. Blakeney has it inside the 5, down at the 2, first and goal. 23 seconds to go. Duke still has a timeout.
And Boone's eyes continue to be in the perfect spot, looking receivers off, finding the open man. Quick release. Johnny, sorry, there's nothing you can do on the sidelines.
Go to the ground with Powell. Powell straining. Now, if Duke doesn't get the touchdown, they got to call a timeout.
No doubt.
Got to call it quickly. Blue Devils, what are they doing? They're waiting on. Did they get the timeout?
I think they were trying to signal it from the sideline much earlier.
The clock's out.
Okay,
the coach is running on the field.
Okay, the clock hit 0, but Jeff McConaughey.
Did he get in, though? That's what we're going to look at next, though. Did he get in?
Well, we saw
the goal line. Second down.
And we saw Arizona State completely botch the clock at the end of the half of their game against Texas Tech last night. And it appeared for a second that Duke was going to let time expire. All right, just a couple of ticks left. We'll see what happens here in the final play of the first half. Let's check in with John Saunders.
Reese coming up at halftime, joined by Mark and Lou as we take a look at UCLA. Big win over Virginia Tech. Kadeem Carey, what a day he had in what could be his final game. Plus, we, of course, will look at what's going on in Pasadena. Just one note, Reese. Duke's basketball team played Elon today. They scored 35 points in the first half of that game. Will the football team outscore them? Reese, back to you.
They might, John.
John Saunders, well done, my friend. Well done on that stat.
They got to be looking to see if he got in, because it looked like, and I haven't seen the replay, but it looked like he reached the ball over the.
He's not down yet.
Okay,
where's the football, though? That's the question. It's hard to tell from that angle whether or not it had broken the plane, the goal line.
You can't see it at all.
Yeah, it appears for all the world that half of his body is in. And I'm sure it's tempting, as well as they've run the ball, to try to smack it in from the half-yard line. But Cutcliffe with 4 ticks, that's what they put back on the clock, sends out his kicking unit, and Ross Martin.
You got the onside kick. The gamble paid off.
And now, you get the rock after half.
Now pay it off with points, any way you get them.
Field goal attempt. Martin knocks it through as the first half expires. A first half that was nearly perfect for the Blue Devils. Cutcliffe still a little frustrated that he didn't get the touchdown on that previous play. The Blue Devils are going to get the ball to start the second half. Texas A&M hasn't stopped them all night. Kevin Sumlin's with Samantha Ponder.
Coach, you've had so many fast starts. In your mind, what explains the slow start tonight?
Well, you know, we moved the ball early and had penalties to take us out of the red zone. The other 3 times we scored and went right down the field. We hadn't stopped them once. We got to force something defensively to get them off the field. We're just behind. We can't get enough points now. We got to get off the field on defense.
You've obviously had some struggles defensively this year. What can you tell your guys in there after being so dejected on this sideline to make a difference in the second half?
Well, we got to tackle. We got to have better eye discipline. It's the same deal. So, you know, they're forcing us to make one-on-one tackles, make plays, and we haven't been able to do it. If we got guys out there who can't do it, we got to replace them.
Appreciate your time, Coach.
Right,
thanks.
Sumlin understandably frustrated as Duke puts 38 points and 365 yards up. They're up 38-17. Now let's go to the studio. John Saunders, Mark May, Lou Holtz with a halftime report.
All right, Reese, thanks a lot. If we look shell-shocked here, imagine how Johnny Manziel feels. And again, if you didn't hear us before, Duke's basketball team played Elon today, expected to score a lot of points. They got 35 in the first half. Football team has 38. in the first half. And Johnny Manziel, he looked like an angry guy, angry at his defense, and he should be.
He should be, because he's getting limited opportunities offensively to touch the football, and the offense of Duke is getting huge plays. They have 12 plays over 10 yards or more in this game, and the vertical passing game is huge in this game. And here's Johnny Manziel trying to rally the troops. He's frustrated on the sidelines, but you look at this offense. Anthony Boone throwing the football, does a terrific job of getting the ball down the field to play to Jamison Crowder right here for a big first down. Then they're going to run a screen to the outside to Josh Snead. No one's going to touch him. He's going to go in and score easily. Then get it back to Crowder again. No pressure on the quarterback, Anthony Boone. He's going vertical with the football. As I said, 12 plays of 10 yards or more in this game in the first half. This is a rout right now.
The problems they have on defense, we talked about them before. We didn't talk about them all year. They aren't going to be corrected at halftime. There are 8 basic fundamental principles of defensive football play, and A&M doesn't execute them, and they're just going to have difficulty. A&M's going to have to get an onside kick, hope they get a couple fumbles, hope they get a couple penalties against Duke in order to stop them, because they aren't going to do it on defense.
But I'll say one thing. If you're following the legend of Johnny Manziel, this is the perfect storybook ending. If he can come back and find a way to win in the second half and get the ball enough time.
I'll tell you what he could do. He could go play defense.
He might have.
Play defense. I put the offense out there.
But Mark Schneider, the defensive coordinator for Texas A&M, he's in a world of hurt right now.
Hey, I want to tell you, Duke's basketball team scored 35 points against Elon. That was against a weaker defense than what Duke has.
I think you're right. Texas A&M's basketball team, by the way, lost today. But the other thing is, I don't think I've ever seen more of a discrepancy between how an offense is playing, because they're scoring pretty much when they want to, and how a defense is playing. Have you?
And this is Duke. They're manhandling them at the point of attack. They're pushing Texas A&M, an SEC team, around. I know they're last in defense in the SEC, but Duke has been dominant in this game at the offensive line at the point of attack, in the passing game, and in the running game.
Can you imagine Gus Malzahn sitting there watching it and said, I saw Florida State manhandle them. I know we struggled with A&M. I tell you, make sure reconsider who I was going to pick for that game.
Florida State did handle Duke in the ACC championship game, but Duke is playing a lot better than they did right there. They're hitting everything right now. All right. We had another game played earlier today. Arizona facing Boston College in the Advil Care V100 Bowl. Kadeem Carey, another outstanding player, breaks some tackles here, goes 15 yards. Second half, he was tremendous.
He was tremendous in the second half. 47 yards in the first half, well over 100 in the second half. He was terrific, breaking tackles, using his agility and speed right there, the spin move, power and strength, picking up a first down.
169 yards rushing and a couple of touchdowns. B.J. Denker throwing for the end zone. Trey Griffey had a coming-out party today, Coach.
Well, it's just a tremendous catch here. It was his first touchdown. His dad and granddad were great baseball players. I guess Griffey couldn't hit a curve.
Couldn't hit the curve, so he goes out to catch the ball, right?
That's it.
It's easier to catch it than hit it. There's his dad with the big camera. He was there all day saying, yeah, my son's got a couple of touchdowns. But what about this guy? Have we seen the last of Kadeem Carey?
I want to say this. He's had 2 unbelievable years and has not gotten the recognition and the credit that he really, truly deserves.
I think there's a lot of tread off the tire. You look at the 3,800 yards the last 2 years. If there's an opportunity when he submits his paperwork to go to the NFL, you should seriously consider it.
Certainly winds up what was a tremendous career if he is done. Arizona fans, though, don't know. Meanwhile, another Pac-12 school, UCLA, facing Virginia Tech today. Plenty of hugs for the Bruins. The Sun Bowl played today. Virginia Tech facing UCLA. Logan Thomas, boy, tough days. He gets flushed out of the pocket here and gets hit by Jordan Zumwalt. Mayday this. Sent him to the turf for a while.
And it was a physical, vicious hit. Unnecessary roughness was the penalty on the play, and it was just uncanny the way that Logan Thomas was able to get up and walk off the field after that hit.
It was good to see him get up. Brett Hundley, though, scrambling here, picks up a couple of blocks downfield, and it's good to see the wide receivers doing that.
Outstanding blocking, coach, down the field. Look at that.
Oh, excellent. Not only that, Hundley has outstanding speed. He rushed for, I think, 168 yards the first half.
Right you are. UCLA with a 14-7 lead and up 35-12. Hundley to Shaquille Evans, 59 yards. Throwing the ball well as well. 42-12. UCLA with a win over Virginia Tech. Jim Mora Jr. finishes out a great season. He has it going in Los Angeles, and he may, make it tough on Steve Sarkisian to rebound USC in as much of a hurry as they want him to.
And the way that he's recruited, and not only recruited, developed his players the last 2 years. You look at a player like Miles Jack from the Washington area. He recruits him, brings him down, plays him at linebacker and running back as a true freshman. Does a terrific job this year. They won last year and went to a bowl. They won this year and went to a bowl. He's got it going in the right direction. I think Jim Moore Jr. is one of the great coaches that are out there that's a young coach. That's why everybody's talking about him possibly going back to the NFL.
I think he's a great young coach. He's done a tremendous job to beat Southern Cal so decisively and come back and play so well in the bowl game. But he also was very fortunate to inherit a redshirt freshman named Hundley. You wonder if Niehauser had played him as a freshman, whether we'd even hear Coach Moore.
Rick Niehauser, though, has moved on to greener pastures. He's in the same business we're in right now, so he's doing quite well. Virginia Tech, though, where are they right now? Where's the program headed?
They've lost their identity, particularly on offense. Even though they've had Logan Thomas run the offense the last couple of years, they used to be a good football team offensively when they were physical up front in the offensive line and they could run the football, get 5 or 6 yards on first down. They've lost that identity.
They're not the same team. They aren't as physical. Their special teams are not near as good. I don't know if they're talent. They don't have the great tailback that they normally have. And they were a team to be feared nationally. Now they're just another team in the ACC.
You expected when you showed up to play them, you were going to get hit, you were going to be punished, you were going to be bruised the next day. Frank Beamer trying to rebuild that around. Also today, Rice facing Mississippi State in the Liberty Bowl. And Dak Prescott would have a day that he would remember. Best one he's ever had, finding Jamion Lewis, 35 yards on this big game, down to the 2. Lewis had a pretty good day as well. Prescott this time is going to scramble to his left, bring the defense in, and look for Malcolm Johnson.
Terrific job of setting up the screen by the offensive line and the offense, and Malcolm Johnson's going to go in for the easy score.
Prescott wasn't finished. Scrambling to his right this time. Looking for Jamion Lewis, as I mentioned, dragged down at the 5 for a gain of 65, first and goal. See the speed as he breaks away to spin inside the 5-yard line. And then Prescott to Artemis Samuel. Shows a little touch on this ball. 4 yards, touchdown. 27-7 is the score. And that Prescott had never had more than 3 in a game. Never had 3 in a game. He had that and a half.
It was impressive. He ran the ball well. 44 unanswered points.
44-7 the final. Mississippi State over Rice, champions of the Conference USA. Well, Duke, they have yet to be stopped. Only scored a field goal on the last possession, so obviously disappointed in the locker room, up 21.
(2013) marks the 17th consecutive sellout for the Chick-fil-A Bowl, a streak that is the second longest of all bowl games, just behind the Rose Bowl. College football fans will see an incredible matchup here on New Year's Eve and the oldest ACC-SEC Bowl matchup in the country. The Georgia Dome also hosts the annual Chick-fil-A kickoff game, which is run by the Bowl and annually signals the start of college football. On Labor Day weekend this year, #1 Alabama started its defense of the national championship by defeating Virginia Tech and winning the coveted Old Leather helmet for a record 3rd time. Next year, the Bowl hosts a kickoff game doubleheader for the 2nd time in 3 years when emerging SEC power Ole Miss hosts Boise State, and West Virginia comes to town to face the Crimson Tide. Now, as we've mentioned, next year also starts the new college football playoff. Beginning in 2014, the Chick-fil-A Bowl will be one of 6 bowls that will make up the college football playoff, replacing the BCS. The national semifinal game will be hosted by the Chick-fil-A Bowl in 2017 and 2020. In the other years, the Bowl will host a top 15 matchup from conferences nationwide. Being selected as part of the 6 bowl game playoff rotation was a huge honor for the Chick-fil-A Bowl, reinforcing the work the Bowl has done over the last 20 years to create one of the best bowl experiences in the country. But the Chick-fil-A Bowl name doesn't stop with college football. Each April, the Bowl hosts the Chick-fil-A Bowl Challenge charity golf tournament. This made-for-TV golf event features NCAA head coaches and celebrity alumni from all across the country as they compete for a $500,000 scholarship purse. Miami's Al Golden and Heisman Trophy winner Gino Torretta won this year's event, edging out the defending champions from Georgia Tech.
This is the final year of the BCS, and it gets underway tomorrow. Included in the 2 games played tomorrow will be the Rose Bowl. That, of course, in Pasadena. For our coverage, let's join Chris Fowler.
Each piece of ground at the Rose Bowl will be harder and against the stout defenses of Stanford and Michigan State.
Two quarterbacks that played well, efficient, and also created big plays in their respective conference championship game, guys. But both Kevin Hogan and Connor Cook are used to relying on the help of running games.
Yeah.
Just in case it's going to be tough to run out here, which QB is better equipped to make big plays?
I think it's going to be Kevin Hogan. I like Stanford's quarterback. I think he's played in big games. He's been here before, and I think he has an X factor. Ty Montgomery, that wide receiver, he's not just a wide receiver. They want to get the ball into Ty Montgomery's hands as often as possible. They will run him on fly sweeps, reverses, bubble screens. I think Ty Montgomery may be the X factor in Stanford's offense, Kurt.
Well, I think both the quarterbacks are going to have to make plays with their feet eventually because Michigan State pressures quarterbacks. That's just in their DNA. That's what they want to try to do, and they're going to try to do the best they can at getting after Kevin Hogan. And I think if you look on the other side of the ball, Stanford leads the nation in sacks. They do such a great job of defending the run and trying to get a quarterback in obvious passing situations. Look for Connor Cook to have to move in the pocket, move the launching point. You'll see very little just drop back sitting back there as a bullseye. He'll move him left, he'll move him right, and he will surprise you with his athletic ability. He's tall and lanky, but he can move around, and he'll have to in this game.
Cardinal get pressure without blitzing very often. Michigan State brings their variety of blitzes to get after opposing quarterbacks. Different. Terrific throwback bowl to watch here. We'll set the table at 10 o'clock Eastern time on College Game Day. Jadeveon Clowney in his final college game will go inside the film room. Both BCS championship game coaches will visit with us live. Gus Malzahn and Jimbo Fisher. And the very best that 2013 had to offer. Images of the year, always a highlight. Coverage of the game begins at 4:30 Eastern time. Stanford and Michigan State in the 100th Rose Bowl game, brought to you by Vizio.
All right, Chris, thanks a lot. Look forward to that tomorrow. Meanwhile, we still have a half to play. Duke's on their way to 70 or more. 38-17, the lead at halftime.
Good evening. We're here on the campus of Duke University to recognize Coach David Cutcliffe as this year's winner of the prestigious Dodd Trophy, presented by the Chick-fil-A Bowl. Beginning in 2014, the Chick-fil-A Bowl will partner with the Dodd Foundation to manage and promote this award. Coach, congratulations.
Coach, you've had an outstanding season, and we're very proud of you and your team's accomplishments, both on and off the field. From your community service to the great graduation rate to the record-breaking 10-win season, all of these achievements are emblematic of the very things that Coach Dodd stood for: scholarship, leadership, and integrity. Congratulations.
Thank you, Jim and Gary, and it's an honor to be selected as the Bobby Dodd Coach of the Year. First of all, I'm very thankful to coach at such a special place as Duke. The players and coaches are the ones who deserve the credit because they're the ones who truly make a Coach of the Year. I accept this award on behalf of our university, team, staff, and fans. I'm very proud of our players' accomplishments both on and off the field. Coach Dodd is a legend. At Duke, we try to do it the Dodd way by emphasizing scholarship, leadership, and integrity. I am proud and humbled to be the recipient of the Dodd Trophy presented by the Chick-fil-A Bowl. Thank you.
They may do a recount and win by a bigger margin after watching the halftime. David Cutcliffe, what a great job. New Year's Day, it is a full day, and we've got 3 matchups where the Big Ten is meeting the SEC. Some terrific play, including getting underway in the BCS with the Tostitos Fiesta Bowl and the Rose Bowl presented by Vizio. You see a matchup you like?
I like the Capital One Bowl. I want to see if South Carolina and Jadeveon Clowney can stop the running attack of Wisconsin with James White and Melvin Gordon. Very physical up front with their offensive line. It's going to be interesting to see if South Carolina can slow down that vaunted rushing attack of Wisconsin.
I think I have a good choice. I'm really interested in 2 games. Number one is Georgia against Nebraska, and the reason that is Georgia is going to be playing with a younger quarterback by the name of Manson, who has only started 1 game, and they came and beat Georgia Tech from a 20-point deficit. The other thing is LSU is going to be playing with a new quarterback. Mettenberger's out. Going to be a young man by the name of Anthony Jennings making his first start. I'm anxious to see how they do. Remember this, 2 great quarterbacks in the SEC are both injured. Young kids are going to play.
You like those 2, but guess what? You got to be here for all of them.
Am I glad? I really am.
Get here at noon and watch them all with Mayday and I. That's it. Enjoy the second half. Right now it's time for a listen to the Bright Spark Band.
Welcome back to Capital One Bowl Week.
It's the grand finale. They don't get no bigger than this. Finish. Finish. Can you do this? Can you do this? Can you do this? I know you think that you can move, but can you move the way I do?
Welcome back to the Chick-fil-A Bowl in Atlanta. Happy New Year as we get ever closer to the dawn of 2014. Chick-fil-A Bowl matching Texas A&M and Duke, and coming into this game, the question was, could the Blue Devils keep up with the prolific Aggie offense? That script has been flipped. 38-17, Duke with the lead over Johnny Manziel and the Aggies as we get set to start the third quarter. Here's what happened in the first half. Complete dominance by the Duke offense. Anthony Boone scoring here.
They've had unbelievable balance, whether it's quarterback runs by Anthony Boone and Brandon Connett. They've gone short and deep down the field to wide receiver Jamison Crowder. Their offensive line has taken over. They've been able to run the football conventionally. Here, a long touchdown by Josh Snead.
They've been able to do whatever they want. They've had their will on the ground, through the air. And then on the other side, I tell you what, Johnny Manziel's he's thrown. I tell you what, if you wonder about his ability to throw the football, he's proving you wrong if you think he's just a running quarterback, because he's been reading things well and spitting the ball out to his receivers, making plays. His defense needs to get some stops. Usually 17 at the half is pretty decent. Remember, he got lost in possession because of an onside kick. Now he'll get a chance in the second half to see what he can do.
Manziel threw for 199 yards in the first half, ran for 45 more, but he hasn't taken a snap since the 6:45 mark of the second quarter. As David mentioned, Duke scored and got an onside kick, drove down, kicked a field goal on the final play of the first half. And the Aggies are kicking off to start the second half. Texas A&M defense has not stopped Duke one time tonight. Duke has had it 6 times. They've scored 6 times. 5 touchdowns and the field goal on the final play of the first half. And David Cutcliffe, the Bobby Dodd Coach of the Year, is showing why he's accumulated so many Coach of the Year awards this season, leading the Blue Devils to their first 10-win season, trying to make it 11, but still 30 minutes of football to play here at a sold-out Georgia Dome in Atlanta on New Year's Eve. A&M down by 3 touchdowns. Defense going to see if they can do anything. As Devon Edwards fields the second half kickoff, takes a knee. The Blue Devils will have it in the 25 as we go to Samantha Ponder.
Reese, I talked to David Cutcliffe and asked him to explain that fast of a start. He said it wasn't shocking because that's how this team practiced since that Florida State debacle. He said his guys took that game very personally. They knew they were better than that, and they're proving that tonight. He did say in terms of finishing in the second half, they've been one of the best teams in the country in the fourth quarter. They're not taking their foot off the gas. They want to continue to be the aggressors offensively.
Now, Sam, they lead the nation in fourth quarter scoring margin. Outscored their opponents by 76 in the fourth quarter. First snap of the third quarter coming with Anthony Boone, a quarterback, and Duke. A rare mistake as Jamison Crowder started too soon, and it'll be a 5-yard penalty on the Blue Devils. Reese Davis, Jesse Palmer, David Pollock, glad to have you with us. Chick-fil-A Bowl here in Atlanta.
Delay game. Defense, number 1. 5-yard penalty.
I guess he
First
flinched. He flinched to draw Jameis Crowder.
Well, let's see what Harris did, because I saw Crowder top of the screen jump.
See.
Oh, there you go.
I think you should be able to do that, but that's the rule. You're not allowed to be able to flinch, but I don't know why you can't move around.
Well, not much has gone A&M's way tonight, and it doesn't to start the second half, as Josh Snead has it. On 1st and 5, he picks up about 3.5.
So Johnny Football needs the ball back. This defense has to find a way to get off the field. In the first half, when they played big zone coverages, they haven't decided to blitz. That obviously hasn't worked. So I wonder if you just start dialing it up here. If you're Mark Snyder, the defensive coordinator, start taking chances and just see if you can create some turnovers, gain momentum.
Back to Snead, first down Blue Devils. Snead into the open field. Snead running into Aggie territory inside the 45, and Duke's on the move again.
Same old, pushing around Texas A&M up front, doing a good job. Offensive line just continues. Look at them. You see the left guard pull around Harding, do a great job blocking the defensive end. And there's just, you can drive a Mack truck through these alleys. I mean, these holes are wide open. A&M defenders, they have to get off blocks. Quit running around blocks. Meet contact. Be a man. Stay in your gap. And play better up front.
First and 10. Snead has it. A little bit better job by A&M that time. Pick up of a couple.
And David, I got to be honest. I'm watching this defense. It's very hard to play linebacker at Texas A&M because every snap, you've got one of your own defensive linemen getting pushed into your lap, and if not, there's a Duke offensive lineman chipping up and working his way into the second level, and you're being taken on by a guy that's 300 pounds.
Well, the thing is, with your offense, you're not out of this ballgame. I mean, you could score so quick, and you could score with anybody, so you just need some possessions and some touches. You need to start with one stop. That's it.
Haven't gotten one tonight. Boone firing over the middle, taking a big hit was Crowder, but Crowder held on to it. Howard Matthews, who's been burned a couple of times tonight, hits Jamison Crowder, but Duke star wide receiver hangs on.
Only 5'9", 175 pounds, but he is fearless working the middle of the field. Look, he knows he's going to get popped, and Howard Matthews obviously trying to atone for the 3 times he got burned in the first half. Tell you what, this guy number 3, he's having himself a ball game here tonight.
103 catches, an ACC single season record. He was a yard short of the first down. Blue Devils been good in short yardage tonight. A&M this time makes the play in the backfield, and it'll bring up 4th down as Jawan Thompson is stopped. Jordan Mastrogiovanni was back there, so too was Tony Hurd Jr.
You mentioned it, Reese. The first time now that's happened on a 3rd and short, 4th and short, where they had the chance to make a play. Now Duke substituting their backup quarterback, Brandon Kennett, on the field. Anthony Boone also staying, though. Brandon Kennett, very multiple. We talked about him being a short yardage goal line quarterback, but he also will play that tight end H-back spot in these situations.
So Kennett not lined up to take the snap at the moment. On 4th down. Going to take a shot at it. Boone getting rushed, firing, and finally A&M gets a stop.
I hate that call by Duke.
Amen.
You've been having success all game long running the football down your throat. I know they just stopped you on 3rd and short, but you've got to trust this offensive line that's taken over. I know you're going play action. You're expecting Texas A&M to sell out, but give them credit because they stay home. And now you've given Johnny Football the ball back close to midfield, potentially giving this team a little bit more momentum. I don't like the call.
I don't know what Kennett was doing either. Most of the time you release to the flats. He turned his head back inside and allowed Honeycutt to guard him because Honeycutt was playing run to start with, so it kind of looked like miscommunication.
First time in 9 minutes and 47 seconds of game time, Manziel has the ball, and Johnny trying to do something with it. Manziel, the first run of the second half, has a first down.
He didn't have to scramble a lot in the first half. You see Johnny Manziel getting a little chirpy here. Yeah, I mean, he's competitive. You know, we talked about him and his emotion and how important this game is to him if this is, in fact, his final game. Making his presence felt here in the first play of the second half.
There was one of those pirouettes, one of those spin outs that
circle button.
He just sees it coming and just feels it and just spins out.
Or B button if you prefer the Xbox. Malcolm Kennedy, an alley. Kennedy spins inside the Duke 45. He has another Aggie first down, and because of the trouble that the Aggie defense has sort of lost as late in the half, the Duke offense wasn't stopped much
either. The block
either.
right here by Travis Labhart up front, getting a defender on the ground. That's Cash.
Mike Evans, a quick catch, and Evans, who had a couple of costly penalties, gets down close to the 35.
He's got to get more touches in the second half. You've got to find a way to get a Biletnikoff finalist the football in his hands.
Duke is missing a defensive lineman, Jamal Bruce, on the sideline in crutches. He's their starting nose man. Manziel gets away from 2. Johnny on his feet. Here goes Johnny Football inside the 25. First down for the Aggies.
He's got such a good sense of how to skinny up to defenders, and he runs. Watch him run right at the defender a little bit, skinny him up, and then extend out and give himself some space to create. And just he's a magician in the open field trying to bring him down. It's just impossible for one guy to do it.
Size 15 feet seemed to give him extraordinary balance when he's hit. Can't tip him over. And Molina. Inside the 20.
We're seeing the tempo now crank up a little bit for Texas A&M again. Getting the play calls in quickly, foot on the gas. Jake Spavital getting the plays in quickly to Johnny Manziel.
On 2nd and 7. Manziel leaps over a guy, still on his feet. Manziel, Labhart. Touchdown, Aggies. He's magic.
Are you kidding me?
Okay, this is unbelievable on a couple of different ways here. Watch the fake screen. They're trying to get the outside receiver, Darrell Walker, deep down the field. You're going to see just kind of stutters. He's open right now for a touchdown. Manziel missed that. Somehow doesn't go down, keeps the play alive, and actually finds the original fake bubble to Labhart. That was wild.
So we've been counting down the top Johnny Manziel moments of his 2-year career. Add this baby to the list. SportsCenter top 10 nominee, and this had better be number 1. Manziel somehow gets away from Kelby Brown and finds Labhart. Touchdown. The Aggies are back in it. If this is Johnny Manziel's final game in an Aggie uniform, here's another highlight reel play. Tries to leap over a defender. Duke was worried about the second play. After the first play breaks down, that might have been the second play, the third play, fourth play. And then Manziel goes over to try to rile up the Gig'em crowd. As Texas A&M got hit in the face with a shovel in the first half, gets a stop. It's first of the night when Duke had the ball to open the second half. They score with their first possession. We got a ball game in Atlanta.
Now you go back and you revisit that 4th and 1 play call, trying to throw the football instead of running it. May have just woken up the giant a little bit with Texas A&M, giving them some new life.
By the way, that touchdown catch from Travis Labhart is 3rd of the night, and that is a Chick-fil-A Bowl record. Kickoff goes into the end zone. Blue Devils will have it on the 25. John Magic Bean has put on a show running the ball tonight.
He's been able to create, he's been able to extend. This was the very first play of the half, kind of setting the tone for that drive.
1, 2, 3, 4. And then what is this?
I don't know.
Hurdle, jump on one of your offensive linemen.
Is it triangle button?
Yeah, and then he didn't cross the line of scrimmage, runs back, and now he's telling his defense, dude, you gave me 1. Can I get a few more? Give me 2 more stops. If that doesn't get you pumped up as a defense, I don't know what will.
And now Duke trying to regain some momentum. They keep it on the ground, and busting into the open field is Juwan Thompson into Aggie territory, and Thompson's inside the 35. And just like that, as they have all night, the Blue Devils answer.
And again, I'm not trying to pick on this guy. Number 31, Howard Matthews, out here, loses contain inside.
But it was
got to stay outside the play and force that football inside.
But it was a stunt with Deshaun Hall, who comes inside, but he loses his balance. But you got to get to the outside, and Johnny's just going, guys, I can't play defense. You know what? Go play corner, Johnny, or safety. Go get him that D. Try to help him out.
Thompson's now up to 80 yards on the night. Josh Snead has 88. From 34. Boone keeps it. Boone will not run through the tackle of Stephen Jenkins.
If you're Duke, just lean on your offensive line. Get back and allow these guys to take the game over. This is a unit up front with a ton of chemistry. Coming into tonight, both tackles, both guards started 26 consecutive games together. And they're not the most dominant physical offensive line in the country. They're not Alabama from last year. But these guys are setting the way and they're paving the way. And that's starting left guard Dave Harding on the sideline right now. The second starter out in this unit. But I'd still be running behind these guys, letting them pave the way.
As you mentioned earlier, Right tackle Perry Simmons hurt in the Florida State game, not in this game. Now a couple of reserves in the offensive line for the Blue Devils, as Thompson slams it down inside 30.
And I'd say that's not an area where they're exceptionally deep either. They already have a 6-man rotation, and right tackle Perry Simmons, who had 50 starts as a career, he's out with a knee. So now you're losing another guy, your left guard, who's all ACC honorable mention. Now you're plugging in that's the area that you don't want to be plugging in guys, because that's not an area where you're incredibly deep up front with Duke.
The left guard right now is Cody Robinson, sophomore from McMinnville, Tennessee. Big third down for the Devils. Jamison Crowder. Oh, a beautiful tackle by Hurd, because it looked for a second as if Crowder was going to have some running room.
Tony Hurd's made a couple of plays now in these last 2 possessions for Texas A&M. All of a sudden, you see a little bit more bounce in their step, getting these stops. Simple tunnel screen to Jamison Crowder, the most dangerous offensive player on the perimeter for Duke, but great open field tackle by Hurd.
Great job redirecting. He saw Crowder coming across his face, and he redirected and got him.
In motion, Johnny Manziel doesn't want to watch this one as Ross Martin going to try it from 48 yards out. A low line drive kick that goes wide left. And the second stop of the second half for Kevin Sumlin's defense. And now the Aggie offense comes back onto the field, a chance to make it a 1-possession game.
So the reaction by Kevin Sumlin. Again, this is a very different looking sideline. Johnny Manziel couldn't even watch that kick.
And Sumlin's a guy that doesn't show a lot of emotion. That's a lot of emotion for Kevin Sumlin when you see him on the sidelines.
Now, Kevin's a cool customer, but he reads his team well, understands him, and knows that they need a little fire here. And right now, the Blue Devils have taken a shot. Let's see how their defense answers. Manziel complete. Nifty move by Darrell Walker. Walker stopped short of the first down by a host of Blue Devils.
And I think if you have one concern for Duke on defense, it's the youth and inexperience in the secondary. You mentioned at the start of the game, 2 cornerbacks are true freshmen playing a lot. You got a true freshman safety. The other safety's also a freshman. On these scramble plays by Johnny Manziel, when they've got to cover guys for 6, 7, 8 seconds, how's that going to work out? It hasn't been great so far.
Quick out to Kennedy. Malcolm Kennedy hit. Gets across the 40, enough for the first down. DeAndre Singleton, the freshman, among those on the tackle.
And I love when Johnny does that. He grabs the ball and slings it sidearm just to get it out there as quick as he can off of play action. That's one of the things you start talking about him next level, too. He's got a quick release. He can get that thing out of his hand in a hurry when he needs to.
Trey Carson in motion. Manziel wants it all. Kennedy's running out there. Cockrell's chasing it for Duke. It's incomplete, 2nd and 10. Let's check in with Samantha.
Got a change on the offensive line for the Aggies. Left guard Jarvis Harrison looks like he's out for the game, in tons of pain with that right leg. Tried to run, couldn't run at all, grimacing, having a hard time. You'll see in for him right now this entire drive, Garrett Grambling out there.
All right, Samantha, and that incomplete pass snapped a string of 9 straight completions for Manziel. Starts a new streak. The big tight end, Cam Clear. We expected to see more of him tonight. First catch for Clear. 3rd down's coming.
It's a nice job of Johnny Manziel allowing the offense to work for him. There was a free blitzer coming off the edge. He knew where his hot answer was. It was the tight end. Easy pitch and catch. Set up 3rd and short.
Manziel throwing. There's Clear again. The big fella still on his feet. Cockrell trying to rip the ball away, but he cannot. And the Aggies are down close to the 20-yard line.
David, you mentioned earlier you love Johnny Manziel's quick release. I love the awkward body throws. Take a look at how his body's contorted here. Throws it on the run to the right. Yeah, to the left. He can contort his body, tremendous control. And again, at the next level, you've got to be able to do that. You've got to be able to negotiate defenders and just get the ball out. Johnny Manziel just has that knack. You can't coach it.
Carson has the corner. Trey Carson inside the 10. Carson into the end zone, and here come the Aggies.
Everything's going right. The running game getting going now. Everybody's fired up. Should do a good job. Mike Matthews, their center, comes around, but if you can see at the top, 15 at the top right here. Watch the block a little bit. Watch a little bit of a grab right here by Travis Laver. Right there, a little bit of a grab, a little bit of a tug. Trey Carson does the rest. Usually Carson runs up the middle. A little bit of a change, him bouncing it out wide, and Duke fans are going, what happened?
What happened was they finally got a stop or two, and twos in a rhythm. 6 plays, 70 yards, another touchdown for Texas A&M. And with 5:05 remaining in the third quarter, A&M has cut their 21-point deficit all the way down to 7. 38-31. Blue Devils have it when you come back.
The 2013 Chick-fil-A Bowl is brought to you by the Quicksilver Card from Capital One. Earn 1.5% cash back on every purchase. Applebee's unbelievably great tasting under 550 calories menu. Applebee's, see you tomorrow. And Silver Star Ultra headlights from Sylvania.
Part of the week-long competition between the two teams, go-kart racing. Duke won that, by the way. Fast start here tonight. We've asked you to send in your pictures from your New Year's Eve parties. Hashtag Chick-fil-A Bowl and hashtag ESPN Watch Party. There's a house divided enjoying the Texas A&M Duke game tonight. So I'm ready to ring in 2014, which is now less than 90 minutes away in the East. Probably saw the shot in Atlanta of the giant, what's going to be a peach. There was some consternation in town because it's wrapped in an M&M wrapper. They were afraid that corporate sponsorship had taken over there, but never fear. They'll be dropping the peach. Kickoff goes into the end zone. Duke's dangerous return game, not with an opportunity to bring it back. Blue Devils will have it on the 25. Capital One Bowl Week continues New Year's Day. Grandfather of them all, the 100th Rose Bowl game, Stanford and Michigan State. Cardinal trying to win the Rose Bowl for the second consecutive year. Sparty there for the first time was 1988. Into the 87 season, and there's the M&M candy-coated peach shell. It'll drop, marking the arrival in Atlanta of 2014. Duke and Texas A&M have both arrived ready to deliver some fireworks of their own, and now Anthony Boone's going to have to answer Johnny Manziel. Boone flips it out to Josh Sneed. Sneed's across the 30. Picks up about 8.5, maybe 9 on first down.
And now the pressure has gone back up again on Duke offensive coordinator Kurt Roper, because in the first half, everything you were calling was working. Now you've been stopped twice in a row. Johnny Manziel and that offense are on fire. You can't stop them defensively. You know you're going to have to score a lot more points here in the second half if you're going to ice this win.
Bit of a high snap, and coming off the edge and getting there was Stephen Jenkins. Jenkins made a couple of big plays in the second half in the backfield, and now they've forced Duke into a third down.
Texas A&M's been more aggressive, guys, in the second
active.
half. Yeah, there's more bodies close to the line of scrimmage, and they've got a lot more guys just moving around. They've been able to make plays behind the line of scrimmage, something they weren't doing at all in the first half.
There's a lot of football left to be played. 19 minutes right now, in fact. But I don't think I'm overstating it to say this is a huge play for the Blue Devils. They need to keep their defense off the field for a few more minutes. See if they can generate something. They're going to have to get it snapped pretty soon. And now running in just before the play clock expires.
30-second timeout, Duke.
The Blue Devils avoid a 5-yard penalty, which they could ill afford at this juncture. Just a few moments ago, Duke had it in hand. Right now, the Blue Devils reeling.
Visit WatchESPN.com or download the Watch ESPN app to watch ESPN live anytime, anywhere. Brought to you by Vizio.
Back here in Atlanta, the Georgia Dome, aerial coverage provided by Goodyear. Everything Goodyear has learned, making tires that go the distance, inspires what they roll into yours. Goodyear, more driven. Reese Davis, Jesse Palmer, David Pollock, Samantha Ponder. Pleased you're spending New Year's Eve with us, and you ought to be happy too, because we've got a barn burner going on in the Dome. A&M's been on fire in the second half. Huge third down play for the Blue Devils. Anthony Boone firing, and he's got his tight end. That's Braxton Deaver. And Deaver's had a couple of big catches tonight, and that one was rather large to keep the Blue Devil drive going.
Love this play call by Kurt Roper. They're going to have Deaver here in the background. He's kind of just hiding as a fullback, just kind of stalking his way out, allowing the play action to affect the linebackers for Texas A&M to suck up. Nice catch and an explosive play.
Stephen Jenkins, number 8, never even looked at the tight end. Looked in the backfield the whole time, expecting run. Tight end runs right by him.
Deaver has 3 catches, all of them longer than 25 yards. He's got 95 yards receiving on the night. Back to the ground. Snead, the 36-yard line.
How important was that first down?
I was just going to say, like, you almost hear a collective exhale coming from the Duke sideline, because not only did you convert the first down, you also flipped the field, putting the football into Texas A&M territory. Now with a positive run on first down, you set up 2nd and 5.
Boone fires. It bounced up. Did he make the catch? Yes, he did. John L. Barnes. Acrobatic grab by the freshman from Lehigh Acres, Florida.
Reese, I don't think this throw was to Barnes. I think he meant to hit Isaac Blakeney, number 17.
I don't think it hit the ground either.
It didn't.
It looked like he had his hands on it.
Look, I mean, Blakeney goes up. He's 6'6". I mean, it's hard to overthrow him, but I think Boone did.
Boone throwing to the end zone, trying to get it back to Barnes. It'll be 2nd down and goal.
Wow.
Let's go back and show it again, because Honeycutt didn't even think about playing the ball. He went straight for the defender. He tried to get to Blankley, but the back end was interesting because it looked like the ball was kind of. See, look, Honeycutt was coming right in there.
You know, but Jesse, I'm going to give him the benefit of the doubt. That was so overthrown. I think.
You think so?
I think he was throwing for Barnes.
I like the benefit of the doubt there.
Give it to him.
Never the quarterback's fault.
Brandon Gannett going to take the snap. He has a touchdown tonight. He's looking for a second one. A couple of Aggies hit him. It'll be 3rd down and goal coming for the Blue Devils. And it's getting a little bit chippy down there. Blakeney just took that big shot as he leaped for the pass from Boone. Appeared to be involved in a little extracurricular after the play, and he's having a New Year's Eve chat.
Brandon Gannett is still lined up at quarterback. Anthony Boone's out at wide receiver. Keep in mind, Gannett can throw the football too. He's thrown 13 touchdowns this year. He's a dual threat as well. It's no guarantee he's running with it.
On 3rd and goal. Give to Snead, and he stopped. And one of the keys we said before the game, when Duke got the ball in A&M territory, you can't settle for field goals. They've been stopped on downs. They've missed a field goal. Cutcliffe going to take the points, it appears, and make it a 2-possession game. And Ross Martin comes onto the field. You understand why.
Yeah, Reese, that's a win for Texas A&M.
No doubt.
I mean, you got a lucky catch. Duke came into this game 24 for 25 in goal-to-go situations, having scored touchdowns, which is remarkable. Now, they were in the same scenario. You're forcing a field goal. That's a win if you're A&M on D.
Martin, the short field goal attempt, 20 yards out, puts it through. And so Duke puts up the score. Means Manziel needs it twice at least to catch him with 43 seconds to go here in the 3rd quarter in what has been a very entertaining 3rd quarter, entertaining game. Plenty of bowl action. Capital One Bowl Week on New Year's Day. A full slate of games across a variety of ESPN networks. TaxSlayer.com, Bowl, Nebraska, and Georgia meet in the postseason for the 2nd straight year. Vegas and North Texas on ESPNU also at noon. Wisconsin and South Carolina, Capital One Bowl on ABC at 1 Eastern. Iowa and LSU in the Outback Bowl. All of those games available on the Watch ESPN app. And as we are anticipating We're watching Johnny Manziel's final performance in college. South Carolina plays Wisconsin tomorrow. We know Jadeveon Clowney is on his way to the NFL. That way he'll have enough money to pay his speeding tickets, according to Steve Spurrier.
He's back.
Still talking.
He's back. Officially, he is back, ladies and gentlemen.
If you missed it, Jadeveon picked up a couple of speeding tickets, and Steve opined that he would have enough money to pay the fine soon. A short kickoff. That was almost a severe tactical error right there by Trey Williams, but he wisely let the ball hit it just the last second. Catch that and step out of bounds. You got horrible field position. Instead, you're going to have excellent field position.
Kick out of bounds. Kicking team. Well, he placed him. First down.
So after the out-of-bounds kick, Texas A&M will get it. You see the motion of Johnny Manziel. Ball will be spotted up the 40-yard line. And Manziel, there's no question he's the spiritual, emotional leader of this team. And also, one might argue, the entire Texas A&M nation. Certainly the fans are reacting. Johnny getting his team hyped. Yeah, the officials, I saw him walking to the 40. That was the old spot. It should go on the 35, and now they've gotten together and they're moving it back to the 35, and that's where he should be with a kickoff out of bounds.
Just wanted to make sure you were brushed up on your rules, Reese.
Advance it from the spot of the kick. 30 yards, that put it on the 35. And that little quick toss to Quiv Gonzalez, third time they've run that tonight. It's been successful a couple of times. Pickup of about 6 on first down.
And again, something Texas A&M Aggie fans can get used to with Jake Spavital, calling plays on offense. More creativity, getting different guys touches in this offense here in years to come as the play call.
Molina. Then tackled by Kelby Brown. He's short of a first down. Third down coming for the Aggies as we're headed toward the 10-second mark left in the third quarter. I think the Aggies are going to snap it or have time as Johnny's taking his time, and the third quarter has come to a close. The fourth quarter is where the Duke Blue Devils have excelled. They lead the nation in fourth quarter scoring margin. They've rallied from double-figure deficits late this year, but this time the Blue Devils will be trying to hold a 10-point lead against Johnny Manziel and the Yankees.
Hello, I'm Lieutenant Brom, 22nd Engineer Clearance Company, 14th Engineer Battalion out of Joint Base Lewis McChord, Washington. Wishing everyone back home a Merry Christmas and a Happy Holidays from Bob Fenty, Afghanistan.
We wish a Happy New Year to all of those brave men and women who serve and protect us, serving their country. Of course, a rich history of the Corps Cadets at Texas A&M is part of the Aggie lore and history, and they see their team down as we start the fourth quarter, and a third down that's converted by Johnny Manziel to Travis Labhart. Those two have hooked up for 3 touchdowns tonight, and the Aggies pick up a very important first down. Here is the Chick-fil Bowl trophy. Both teams trying to finish their season on a positive note. A&M lost their last 2 games. Duke won its division in the ACC, but got routed by Florida State in the ACC championship game as Ben Molina gets into Duke territory. Johnny Manziel is approaching 10,000 total yards for his career. He's the first man to go 7,000, 2,000 in 2 years of play. If A&M's going to win this game, I dare say he's going to need to reach that 10,000 yards of offensive mark for his career by the end of the night as Molina picks up a first down at the Duke 41.
They're so balanced. You got a quarterback that can run and throw. They play 4 different running backs. You got 4 wide receivers that at least had 40 catches and 500 yards coming into tonight. You've got a good offensive line. This is a nightmare to stop, and why they're one of only 7 teams in the FBS with at least 31 rushing and passing touchdowns on the season.
We got man coverage on the outside. Looks like Duke's bringing pressure. They could have a chance to make a big play.
Here it comes. Manziel turns it loose. Evans with Cockrell all over him. Mike Evans makes a play.
I think you get sick and tired of sitting back and letting Johnny Manziel dink and dunk, letting them run the football. They get aggressive, play man coverage. This guy's been a monster all year. You single him up on the outside, he's going to win the jump balls. Nice back shoulder by Johnny. Duke's in a pick your poison dilemma right now because this offense is humming.
Pick up at 25. Manziel over 300 yards passing tonight, and the Aggies are back in the red zone. High snap, Molina. Molina exploding inside the 10, inside the 5. First and goal, A&M.
You're starting to see Texas A&M's offensive line take this game over now. They've had so much more success running the football conventionally in the second half, starting to wear down this Duke front four on defense.
Manziel, they'll never catch him. Johnny Manziel, touchdown Texas A&M, and over the barricade. And Johnny's first one back to celebrate.
And this is just Johnny Manziel with pure speed. He's got a safety, Jeremy Cash, in the box. He's even with him, but Johnny's leaving him.
Cash, the transfer from Ohio State. Oh! Well, let's hope that photographer's okay. I mean, she took the worst of the collision. Lambo on to kick the extra point. This is making a field goal game. It appeared there was a little bit of trouble with the hold, but it's true, and it's 41-38. Duke scored 38 in the first half. Only a field goal in the second. And Johnny Football bringing the Aggies back and hoping for a New Year's Eve rally. This could be Johnny Manziel's final college game. We've been showing you some of his greatest plays. This moment, number 2, the SEC single-season offense record. Set that last year, wrapped the game up against Missouri, and his number 1 moment, I think you know what's coming. The butt fumble that, unlike the infamous play by Mark Sanchez, turned famous against Alabama when he hit Ryan Swope. Manziel led the Aggies to a victory over the then number 1 ranked Crimson Tide, and boy, he has been terrific in the second half.
Where's the hurdle?
We're going to show that in just a minute.
The hurdle's got to be top 5.
The one tonight. I agree. Touchdown pass to Travis Madbar. That might be.
And we might have another one. We might have another one before the night's over if he leads this comeback, which he's been doing. But the numbers, I mean, it's sick. I mean, he's playing a different game than everybody else right now.
He always seems to. You look in the history of the sport, maybe Roger Staubach, Archie Manning, Doug Flutie, Fran Tarkenton, Michael Vick, guys like that, but Manziel is as unique as any player we've ever seen in the college game. And here's the play David alluded to. Came in the second half, started to leap for the run, and then he lands on those size 15s, and Travis Lambart's open to one throw a touchdown.
It's amazing just the awareness he has around of where his players are.
And listen to Johnny a few moments ago.
Take it! Take it! Take it from him! Take it! Take it!
Manziel exhorting his defense to take it because he wants it back, and the Aggie crowd is starting to sway in this sold-out Georgia Dome. And Duke, which has relied on toughness all season, going to have that toughness tested here in the fourth quarter. Boone being chased. Boone looking, and he'll just throw it away. 2nd and 10.
All of a sudden, this young, inexperienced defense for Texas A&M, I think they're playing with a bit of a swagger here. In the first half, you simply couldn't stop Duke. Now, all of a sudden, you've made some plays in the second half. It's almost as if these young freshmen, this inexperience, is kind of growing up in front of your eyes here in the second half.
I think someone, the guy you just saw, and Snyder, the guy you're looking at, got into him a little bit. You could tell in the interview going into the half with Sam, he was furious.
He's ready to start
effort.
He's ready to start firing people.
2nd and 10. Tony Hurd coming off the edge. Hurd trips up the running back, and now the Blue Devils looking at a 3rd and long.
All the pressure in the world now is on Duke and their offense because they cannot stop Johnny Manziel and Texas A&M. facing a 3rd and long. You've got to keep this drive alive. All the momentum in the world is on Texas A&M's sideline. So where's number 3? Where's your best player on offense, Jamison Crowder? Lined up one-on-one right now.
Bottom of your screen.
With Devontae Harris.
Crowder's had 8 catches, 122 yards tonight. Crowd noise bothering Boone. Duke's already had to use a timeout to avoid a delay of game. And they got a timeout this time, just before the snap of the ball.
30-second timeout, Duke.
That could turn out to be huge, depending on how things unfold in the last 11:54. Blue Devils clinging to a 3-point lead, and now with just 1 timeout, Manziel hoping to get the ball back.
The 2013 Chick-fil-A Bowl is brought to you by Chick-fil-A. We didn't invent the chicken, just the chicken sandwich. Lexus. The Lexus December to Remember sales event is here, now through January 2nd. And T-Mobile.
He's just been ridiculous. 79 points in the game, 2 teams combined, 998 yards of offense, and even though A&M was down big at halftime, don't ever underestimate John football. 41-38, Duke looking at a 3rd and long. Blue Devils have lost all the momentum. Need to regain it with a conversion here. Boone stands in, fires for Crowder. He's got it for the 1st down. Just as you guys wanted, right to number 3.
And it's a tremendous play, and Texas A&M knew they were going to him. Look at number 25, double coverage on Crowder. That's Clay Honeycutt at safety, was trying to give help to Devontae Harris, but still too good of a route, too good of a throw by Anthony Boone.
That puts us over 1,000 yards of offense tonight. Juwan Thompson has it for the Blue Devils. Tommy Sanders on the stop for the Ags.
This game is awesome. And it's going back and forth, and you get the feeling, too, when Duke offensively looks like they're on the ropes, they've come up with big plays on 3rd down. Remember, there's that long completion to Braxton Deaver earlier, and now they get that big catch by Jamison Crowder. Just what a slugfest going on between 2 offenses executing at a very high level.
A&M's defense has come up with some big short yardage stops in the red zone. Otherwise, it'd be a lot worse.
Oh, high snap. Boone corrals it. And let's see, is there going to be a flag come out? He was not outside the box. Deshaun Hall was the one applying the pressure. I guess there was a receiver in the area.
There is no intentional grounding on the play. Receiver number 3 was in the vicinity.
What vicinity was he in?
I didn't see it. Let's see how close number 3, Jamison Crowder, was. So it's not a good snap. Boone probably should have handled it. Hall was all over him. Okay, we can see here. But Crowder was coming back to the ball.
He threw it.
That's like 8-9 yards away.
That's a big vicinity.
A big neighborhood.
So it just jinxed the offense.
It's a Palmer neighborhood in New York.
I just told you about how well they were executing, and they can't execute the quarterback center exchange.
And now
delay a game.
Wow.
Offense, number 7, 5-yard penalty, 3rd down.
And that's a couple times.
Clock management has been a problem for Duke offensively. We talked about, hey, this is the first time in the Cutcliffe era they're playing in a dome. It's a lot louder, and it's hard to communicate and hear each other, but you've got a quarterback in Anthony Boone as a junior. He's played a lot of football. He's got to be aware of where the play clock is and keep this offense on schedule.
Can I ask you a question, though? How many of those did he have in the first half? He was dialed in on point. Starts to get a little bit, he's starting to get a little nervous now. You want to get the perfect play. You see what the other offense is doing, taking too much time and letting the clock run out.
I think Cutcliffe thought the play clock started a little soon. It did seem like a short 25. But now Boone's going to have to try to get a lot. He's got his man right down the middle. First down, Blue Devils. It's Juwan Thompson out of the backfield.
Juwan Thompson was working one-on-one with the linebacker Tommy Sanders. And Tommy Sanders just falls down. You're going to see him right here, number 3, right in here. Just slips, and that allows the running back to get in from behind him again with their backs against the wall. this Duke offense on 3rd and long comes up with a big play.
I love that Boone takes something off his pitch. He doesn't have to always throw a fastball, just lights it out there and just gets the easy completion.
Thompson has to fight through the hit from Howard Matthews to pick up 2 or 3 yards.
He's run hard, hasn't he?
He has all night. And as we mentioned earlier, Jalay Duncan, one of the 4 running backs that Duke used, but coming into the game, their leading rusher, has been suspended because of an academic violation. Thompson has run for 92 yards in his stead. Snead's been good as well. Quickly to Crowder. Crowder finding room, changes directions, and a terrific hit by DeShazer Everett keeps Crowder from getting the first down. It'll be 3rd and short.
But I love it. Game on the line. You've got to get your best player the football any way you can. We've seen him line up the entire game on the right side of the formation. That time, he's in the slot on the left side. They throw him the bubble screen, set up 3rd and short.
Need 3, a couple of big conversions on this drive.
Keep your eye on number 89, Braxton Deaver, in this situation right here.
There's the man, right on cue. Braxton Deaver makes the catch, and the Blue Devils move the chains on 3rd down again.
And we talked about Cutcliffe and his offensive ability. This is just, it's great knowing your matchups. Boone doesn't have to look far. He's got a nice little in and out route with his main man, Jameis Crowder, and it makes it easy with Deaver coming in the flats. Easy concept, well coached. Great job by Boone getting into him quick.
Snead back in the game. Josh Snead gets it down to the 30, pickup of about 3, 2nd and 7 coming.
Eating up clock, which is crucial on this drive. Resting your defense, shortening the game. Still doing a good job. Cutcliffe still looks calm. I don't know if he is on the inside.
This isn't his first rodeo. He's been around Tennessee, Ole Miss. He's coached in some big games. This is the biggest game again in Duke football history. And David, I'm with you, showing that kind of stoic composure on the sidelines with the game on the line.
Snead hit the backfield. Another 3rd and long coming for the Blue Devils. Wallace Wade might disagree with you. The biggest game in Duke history back in the olden days, but this is perhaps the biggest play of the night for the Blue Devils because, frankly, look, you take points where you can get them. I get it because you get the ball back. But given the way A&M's been moving it, the last thing you want to have to do is settle for a field goal attempt here.
But I don't know A&M's defense. They can't hold up on man coverage on the outside, so it's going to be interesting to see if they want to bring pressure and how they can cover in the back end.
Can't take a sack if you're Boone. You're in field goal range right now.
Needs 8. Boone deflected but completed, and again it's Deaver making a clutch catch at the 21-yard line. 1st down, Blue Devils.
This has been a clinic on 3rd down offense. When they've needed to have a play, they've got it. And there's Braxton Deaver. We've seen him line up all over the field, working the middle, the soft zone, and the anticipation on the throw again, guys. Boone getting rid of the ball before his wide receiver or his target is able to turn around.
And he turned his shoulders out to the outside just a second. You see, to create that avenue in there for the defenders to bite. They got to use their eyes and make sure they're not biting the chump because he does such a good job with his eyes.
Blue Devils have converted 4 3rd downs on the drive. 13th play. Boone throwing it, pretty much throwing it away. Thompson was running out for it. Deshaun Hall was applying the heat on Anthony Boone.
This has been a very impressive drive for a lot of different reasons. Not only on 3rd down, keeping the drive alive, eating clock, keeping Manziel on the sideline. If they could pay it off with a touchdown and get this back to a 10-point game, then this has just been masterful. But it all comes down to execution and the hardest part of the field to execute.
Boone, complete. Running toward the end zone and getting close is David Reeves. Did he get in? He did! Touchdown, Duke! David Reeves with just his 3rd catch of the season.
He's not often used. They kind of lined him up as a flex tight end there, and just a bad tackle here by Devontae Harris. He stays in.
The heel doesn't come all the way down.
But does he keep staying in, though, is the question.
Green. Touchdown.
Wow. Masterful drive. That is how you draw it up. A 14-play, 75-yard drive that took more than 6 minutes. They were legendary on third down.
Ruling on the field of a touchdown is under further review.
You know what's amazing is there's two spots of the replay to look at. The first part is when he catches it and he doesn't put his heel down. He actually looks, watch Reeves look at his heel. He looks down and doesn't put his foot down because he can see himself on the sidelines like, nope, not putting that one down. And then tight ropes it up. The balance.
Do you know how hard that is to do?
He's 6'5", 250. That's a big dude.
All of his body weight is going out of bounds, and he was somehow able to stop that. That's just tremendous athleticism. He's in bounds right there.
Yeah, I see Green between his foot and the out-of-bounds line.
That was shown on the Jumbotron.
Yeah, they're showing it up on the big screen, and the roar you're hearing from the Duke fans as they realize it's going to stand. And the great effort by Reeves to extend the ball inside the pylon to give the Blue Devils
touchdown.
Score and what we said.
Replay confirms the ruling on the field that the receiver reached the ball over the goal line, tried to go out of bounds. Touchdown.
Jeff McConaughey confirming the touchdown. Reeves with his first touchdown catch of the season, and it could not have come at a better time.
Right foot inbounds barely. And then the awareness to stretch now it's dangerous, stretching the football, because he had no idea what was coming back from inside on the defense, and ultimately it pays off.
He had about 4 instances where he's going up the sideline where he's got less than an inch of grass. You always talk about being a game of inches.
It's a game of millimeters. And the lead is back to 10. For Duke, trying to win its first bowl game since the 1961 Cotton Bowl. 48-38, and perhaps another nominee for the SportsCenter Top 10. This one courtesy of David Reeves as the Blue Devils are up 10. Celebrating his 9th year sponsoring the Good Hands Field Goal Nets, Allstate makes contributions to participating in these general scholarship funds for each field goal and extra point kick. To date, Allstate has contributed more than $3.4 million in scholarship funds. A lot of extra points, a couple of field goals, actually 3 of them tonight. 48-38. Duke just answered with a brilliant 75-yard drive that ate more than 6 minutes off the clock. And now Johnny Manziel gets it back, down 10, 6:46 to go. Trey Williams bringing it out. Williams tries to get away from Devon Edwards and can't do it. And Edwards perhaps saved a huge return from the dangerous Williams. Capital One Bowl Week continues New Year's night. Ought to see some offense in this one. A couple of really good quarterbacks in the Tostitos Fiesta Bowl. UCF and Baylor. Blake Bortles zooming up mock draft boards right now. Todd McShay and Mel Kiper both think highly of him. Bryce Petty's put up huge numbers for Baylor. Both teams looking for their first BCS win, first BCS appearance in the final year of the BCS. Coverage begins on ESPN at 8:30 Eastern Time. 86 points tonight. Chick-fil-A Bowl record. Manziel. Malcolm Kennedy makes the grab in Duke territory. Gets out of bounds at about the 47-yard line.
Johnny Manziel again showing you his ability to work through progressions. You see here getting a little chippy. We've talked about how this game is getting more this way in the second half. There's a play fake to Molina. He wanted to go to Evans here on the slant. It's not open. Works all the way back across the field and throws on time. Impressive. Very impressive.
Johnny's thrown for 338 yards and 3 touchdowns. Molina. Knocked down at the 45, pick up a 2.
A lot of football left, guys. 6 minutes, down 10. With this offense, they can score in a hurry. Very important here, though, they come away with points somehow, some way, make this a one-possession game. A&M has all of its timeouts remaining.
should they need them on defense, depending on the outcome of this drive. Duke bringing pressure. Manziel firing deep. Walker's out there. Darrell Walker running under it. He's got it. Touchdown, Texas A&M.
Hey, you think you need 2 scores, so you're in trouble. Time running out.
Minute 2 seconds.
Minute 2 seconds, no problem. But look at the air Johnny Manziel puts underneath this football. He sees man-to-man coverage, but look at high and deep. Don't worry about his arm strength. Dude, that's dropping in the bucket, too. I mean, I could have caught that, and I'm not even athletic. I mean, that shows you how...
You're athletic.
But I'm saying it shows you how great number 2 throws the football.
Back to within a field goal. There is a flag down across the way.
Defense, offside, nose guard, penalties declined, extra point is good, timeout.
So the pressure moves back to the Blue Devils. If nothing else, to just keep the ball out of that man's hands. Johnny Manziel fighting to the end. If this is his farewell performance, it's been a brilliant one. But will it be a winning one? Back to Atlanta after this. Ends at 4:30 Eastern Time, New Year's Day on 4:30 on ESPN. You can see it on the Watch ESPN app. And we're about 34 minutes away from that peach in downtown Atlanta hitting the ground and ringing in 2014. But why would you watch a peach drop or a ball drop when you can watch John Football spin the magic bean and try to finish the season with a victory and perhaps finish his college career with a win, but not to be outdone. Anthony Boone of Duke has been terrific, and Boone will get it back. His team up by 3. He'll start on the 25 after the kickoff goes into the end zone. Manziel's been responsible for 5 touchdowns tonight. He's thrown for more than 7,800 yards in his career, run for more than 2,100, and he's just 11 yards away from the 10,000-yard mark.
He's played 2 years. And this is why, from a legacy standpoint, he's one of the all-time greats. It's must-watch TV. His style of play is just so unique. And arguably having a tour de force performance, what very well may be his final game in college football.
Look at the yards both teams have put up. You would expect that, though, with 93 points scored. Duke has 48. You don't feel as if it's enough. Boone going to try to get it all back in one throw. Crowder just overshot him.
Texas A&M has been a lot more aggressive in the second half. On this last play, they've got all 11 guys 8 yards away from the line of scrimmage. They are inviting Anthony Boone to take a shot, and he barely misses Jamison Crowder on that throw.
And you got to take your chances at this point. Obviously, you got to get the football back. And if you're going to make them throw deep balls, that's obviously a lot higher or less percentage. So at this point, you got to stack the line of scrimmage and give them the deep ball if they want to try and convert it.
And him showing pressure. On the ground, Snead picks up a few. 3rd down coming. Tony Hurd making the tackle. By the way, SportsCenter has started over on ESPN2. O'Brien and Texas, you see the lead, have agreed to a deal, meaning that Penn State will be in the market for a head coach. Bill O'Brien apparently moving to the NFL to take over the Houston Texans, a story that Adam Schefter and Chris Mortensen reported a few days ago. Duke has been perfect on 3rd down in the 4th quarter. Led to their only touchdown of the second half. They need 5.
Deaver and Crowder have been their men, both lined up down low so they can work together.
Boone firing, complete is John L. Barnes. Anthony Boone has been terrific. He's approaching a 400-yard night through the air.
Talked about Manziel working progressions. What about Boone? Wanted to go to the right-hand side of the screen. Nothing there, and quickly, very quickly, the intent to the catch. understanding where to go. You see Kevin Sumlin saying, man, can we get a third down stop?
Those quick looks he does just makes the defense react, and he opens up those little windows. I guess we have been loving on Johnny Manziel, but he's been playing a heck of a game.
Boone's thrown for 390 yards and 3 touchdowns. There's no better quarterback coach than David Cutcliffe. Mannings will tell you that. Josh Snead picks up 4 on first down as the clock winds down toward 4 minutes to play.
A young defense that was gaining confidence early in this half, but I think that last drive, you wonder if that maybe broke their back a little bit. All the big third downs they gave up, and then the missed tackle that led to a touchdown. Tick, 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 tick. You've got to make a play. You've got to get the ball back now. Somebody's got to step up here.
That stat about Duke outscoring its opponents in the fourth, a testament to their toughness. Boone, firing, picked up! Tony Hurd going the other way! One man to beat, and he does! Texas A&M has the lead! Tony Hurd Jr. His first pick of the season, and Mark Snyder's defense gets a pick 6, and the Aggies have the lead for the first time tonight.
Tony Hurd Jr., the guy who decides to step up and make that play for this defense.
Duke in disbelief on the sideline. That is the 100th point of the night. And the Aggies, once down by 3 touchdowns, with 3:33 to go, Tony Hurd Jr. on a night where the defense has been drilled as he's being congratulated by Arvald Lofton, the president of A&M, makes a great play against Barnes.
This is really one of the few times tonight I think Anthony Boone made a poor decision. He had Isaac Blakeney wide open on an underneath shallow route right over the ball. He chose to work outside to Jonell Barnes.
So look at that catch. I mean, that was, both guys met at the ball at the same time. And Hurd just wanted the ball more and looked like the receiver going and get it on that play in the Texas A&M defense. Coach Snyder, finally, we make a play.
And with all the offense, guys, more than 1,000 yards tonight. That is the first turnover. And what a costly one it was for Duke. What a huge one it was for Texas A&M. But, as we just talked about, Anthony Boone, despite that interception, thrown for nearly 400 yards tonight. Duke has moved the ball for much of the evening at will, so there's plenty of time here down 4.
Ironically, this might be the better situation for Duke on offense. If you could go down the field and score with as little time left as possible with the touchdown, not give Johnny Football an opportunity, you can walk out of here with the win. They've been able to put long drives together, but they're going to have to be sharp.
Bertolet, who has lost the place-kicking duties, Lambeau has not lost the kickoff duties, and he hammers another one deep into the end zone. Blue Devils will start on their 25. There have been a number of top plays tonight. Not crazier than this one. Another one for the Johnny Manziel resume reel, Travis Labhart. Then the tremendous catch by the man who just had the interception taken away from Jonell Barnes. David Reeves, his first touchdown of the year and just his 3rd catch. And in the latest moment, a rare defensive play in this game coming from Tony Hurd Jr., a senior from Missouri City, Texas. Rolls double nickels 55 yards on the return to give the Aggies the lead, and now Duke trying to pull it out. Boone, quick pass to Crowder. Crowder picks up a couple.
This was a situation where you'd love to have all your timeouts, but guys, how big is it that Duke's already had to burn 2 of those because of poor clock management in the second half? Only 1 right now in their back pocket. Will that come back to burn them in this game?
Boone firing, getting his hands underneath the ball and making the catch is Max McCaffrey.
Did he catch that?
The official across the way says yes, they're moving the chains.
It looked like from the backside, the other side, it might have hit the ground. They're reviewing it.
Ruling on the field of a completed pass is under further review.
McCaffrey, name familiar among receivers. He's the son of Ed McCaffrey, standout Broncos wide receiver.
I think it's harder to see from this angle. When you show the other angle, the ball's coming out, and then he controls it, I think, initially. But see, did that hit the ground there?
No, sir.
The first time, right when he pops up with it.
That's incredible.
What a great
hit the ground.
How he trapped that, I think with his right hand, doing his best impression of his dad.
Was it on the ground there when it first hit?
I don't think so.
I don't think so,
He
David.
traps it with his
catch.
he traps it with his left hand. Again, you need inconclusive video evidence to overturn this call. It was ruled a catch.
You can pause it right there. That hits the ground right there. That looked like it hit the ground.
Yeah, maybe it did right there.
Right, if you stop it right there.
There, that hit the ground. But the call on the field, you know how the refs are.
Al
They don't want to
Hines is
overturn
the
themselves.
Coordinator of the replay officials for the American Athletic Conference. Al, as you're taking a look at this, what do you see?
See the ball. I want to see control. I want to make sure that there's control. I think stands is the proper call here.
Did the ball hit the ground, though?
Jack Kramer is our replay official tonight. Do you think there was enough video, Al, to prove that the ball hit the ground?
No, I
being
don't.
controlled?
No, I don't.
So Al believes if this call is going to stand.
What do you think, RD?
I think it should stand. I don't think there's enough evidence there. Ball's on the 40 with a first down right now.
After further review, the ball hit the ground prior to the receiver catching the ball. By rule, that's an incomplete pass. The third down on the 28-yard line. Please reset the game clock to 3 minutes. 3-0-0 on the game clock.
So instead of 1st and 10 on the 40, it's now 3rd and 7 on the 28. David?
And kudos to the refs because they don't want to overturn themselves. I clearly think the ball hit the ground. It was close, but I think the ball hit the turf when he cradled it.
Maybe he did, but the question is, did he have control of it with the elbow, which is Al's legal for him to have control with the elbow, is it not?
That's correct, as long as he pinches it across next to his body.
They need another one of these plays from Anthony Boone. Perfect tonight on passing on third down opportunities.
And he's also converted his last 5 chances. 10 for 10, 121 yards, 7 first downs on third down opportunities, and boy, he needs one here.
Jamison Crowder, Braxton Beaver in tandem, lined up close to each other at the bottom of the screen.
Boone eludes a rusher, firing. Crowder has it. The Crowder stay on his feet. He's still running, and the officials are blowing it dead. The Duke fans are going nuts. But they are marking Jamison Crowder down at the 49-yard line. However, Boone's still perfect on third down, and it's another conversion.
And it was his knee was close, I know, but it looked like his elbow he put on the ground. He definitely came back, caught the football, but
knee down.
Right elbow, I think, down too.
Yeah. But again, heck of a play, heck of a catch.
This sounds crazy.
What's crazy?
I don't know if that's the worst thing for Duke, because you don't want to if you give the ball back to Johnny Football, he's going to score. So the ideal scenario is you score with as little time left possible in this half. I just don't see them winning if they give the ball back to Texas A&M.
Boone over 400 yards passing tonight. Got some more to Deaver. Deaver inside the 45 before he's knocked down. Clock inside 2.5 to go. Matthews on the stop.
And it will be interesting to see A&M's approach, because if you feel that way, you can bring. Well, not only can you burn timeouts, you can bring more pressure. You can afford to be a little bit more aggressive, because you know if you give up a touchdown, then you still got your guy on the sideline. But if you sit back, it looks like you're going to get picked apart.
And they're bleeding the clock, Duke, right now. They are not in a rush.
No pass
Boone has a man. McCaffrey can't hold it. Another third down coming for the Blue Devils. Devontae Harris on the coverage.
Very curious to see if he got there early. Certainly Duke and McCaffrey want the pass interference. He got physical outside. Take a look here. Yeah, he goes through his back early. I think that should have been PI.
So McCaffrey doesn't get the benefit of the down on the replay call and doesn't get the call he should have had there.
And guess what? Another third down for Duke.
It means Boone's got him right where he wants him.
No doubt. Look at Cutcliffe, how stoic and calm he is on the sideline.
That gut's churning inside for David, though, I guarantee you that. Boone on third down, fires it into traffic, it bounced around.
Guys, he had his hands all over Crowder. We just talked about the call of pass interference that they missed, which was a lot closer, but Crowder was absolutely getting mugged by Shazer Everett when he came across the field right there.
That's two in a row.
Now, was that ball tipped, though?
Yeah, it was.
It was tipped.
Jay Arnold, the true
tipped.
freshman defensive end, dropped out of his stance and got involved in that. I thought he might get a chance to intercept that ball. Boone got lucky, so here we go.
Here's the ball game right here, 4th and 4. Aggies showing pressure. Boone underneath, complete, first down, Duke. Brandon Braxton making the grab. Clock stops to move the change with 1:48 to go.
Another example of Anthony Boone under control. Watch him point out here to the left. He knows where the pressure was coming. He did beforehand, so he knows where his hot answer is. It's the tight end. Guys, the reason Cutcliffe is so calm and poised, he knows his quarterback's in control.
Duke keeps hope alive. Boone looking for Crowder. Wants it all. Crowder knocked away in the end zone by Everett.
And Crowder's been having a heck of a day, but Everett did a great job. Man-to-man coverage on an island. Look at him looking at the football the whole time. Jumps up in the air and gets it before Crowder has a chance to be able to jump up and high point. That's a heck of a play. That was a man on an island.
That's payback for letting Jamison Crowder smash him in the face on that block earlier in the game.
What'd you call it? Music?
Face music.
Heat coming. Boone runs the point and he throws it away. It's intercepted. Picked off by Nate Askew. The former receiver turned linebacker makes the biggest grab of his career. Everett, who just knocked away the pass from Crowder, was the man applying the heat to Boone, and Boone, who played so brilliantly, throws a late interception.
That time, Anthony Boone did not see the pressure. Here comes Shazer Everett, who just broke up that last pass to Crowder on a corner blitz off the edge. Boone was late. He didn't have an answer early trying to throw it away. He tried to get rid of it late to his running back, Shaquille Powell, for a pick. Johnny Manziel understands. It looks like he's almost to break down in tears right there. But what an emotional game this has been. For them, for him. Unbelievable. And this defense, this young, inexperienced defense, it's certainly given up a ton of yards tonight. It's had some key moments and opportune times late in this game. Remember the pick six earlier by Hurd Jr., and now that play on the corner blitz. Wow, what a game, guys.
And who would have thought, with the awful play in the first half by the Texas A&M defense, it would be the Aggie defense that ends up saving the day with a couple of interceptions, the pick six by Tony Hurd, and the ceiling interception by Nate Askew as the Aggies will go into victory formation. So the question is now this. This indeed is Johnny Manziel's last game. What's his legacy in your judgment? Most exciting player of a generation?
Yeah, and this is just Johnny does it again. I mean, I couldn't think of a better way for him to go out. His D just gave up 48. He was down huge, and he comes back. Look at his numbers. His numbers are great. And every time Cutcliffe and Duke put up points, Johnny had a response. Johnny had an answer. And it was an amazing performance to cap off one of the most amazing, fun-to-watch careers we've ever seen in a 2-year span.
We were all very lucky as college football fans to watch him play. Maybe this isn't his last game, but truly one of the greats. Only played 2 years, a style all his own, brought Texas A&M back to national prominence. They're now the team in Texas, but guys, he's a celebrity, legit. As much as any big pro sports name, LeBron James, Tom Brady, he's a brand, Johnny Football. And whether or not you're an Aggie fan or not, if you're a college football fan, we've been lucky to watch him play.
Someone getting the ice water bath.
He got ice water. You notice that?
He didn't
get Powerade, huh? He didn't get the colored stuff that'll stain his shirt. He still looks perfect, doesn't he?
Yeah. When you're wearing white, he informed them before the game. Let's make sure it's water,
Still
fellas.
looks great.
It is now time for tonight's Capital One Player of the Game, and I imagine that you have a very good guess as to who that might be. Johnny Manziel, and what it is widely assumed will be his final game, though not official yet, at Texas A&M, brings the Aggies from 21 down. A couple of big plays by the defense as A&M wins the shootout 52-48. That'll be official in about 20 seconds. And we would be remiss if we didn't bring up this. This is a heartbreaking loss for a Duke team that had a terrific season and played brilliantly for much of the night. Aggies just made a couple of plays on defense in the second half. Blue Devils were not as effective on offense in the second half. Johnny Manziel finishes his career 11 yards short of the 10,000-yard mark, but never short in moments, never short in highlights. And he gigs them one last time, perhaps, as Texas A&M wins it 52-48. Aggie War, him playing in the background. Manziel being surrounded. Samantha Ponder trying to get close enough to have a chance to talk to Johnny, perhaps, to Kevin Sumlin, after a thrilling Chick-fil-A Bowl. What a way to ring out 2013. Samantha Ponder's with Johnny.
Yes, I am, Reese. Johnny, how would you describe the emotional progression of that game?
You can't even begin to describe how that game was. 38 to whatever it was at half. So the guys, don't look at the scoreboard. If you look at the scoreboard, you might as well not come back on the field with me. Don't look. This game is 0-0 from however bad it was. Doesn't matter. We're going to fight. We're dogs. We don't care. We didn't care what the score was. We kept fighting. I'm so proud of them.
What was the difference in this team between the first half and the second half?
We just came back and got some momentum on offense. Defense did a great job coming out and helping us out through the first few drives that Duke had. Gave us some momentum and got us the ball back. We felt like we shot ourselves in the foot the first few drives, and we were really doing some good things.
Obviously a team effort out there tonight, but a lot of people watching assuming that this may be your last college football game. Have you decided if you'll make the trip to the NFL draft this year?
I can't even think about anything other than this game right now. This was unreal. I can't even begin to sit here and tell you how proud I am of these guys. I love Texas A&M. I love my teammates. Unreal.
Johnny, what would keep you at Texas A&M, especially after an experience like this?
This guy and all these teammates I have here. I love them more than anything on the face of this earth.
All right, I'll talk to this guy then. Congratulations, Johnny. Coach, at halftime, a little frustrated, for good reason. How would you describe what your team was able to do in the second half?
Well, first of all, sorry for being short with you when I came off the field.
You were just fine, Coach.
We had a discussion at halftime, and we weren't very proud of how we were playing. And, I can't be happier for these seniors. 11 games, only 14 to First time we've won 3 consecutive bowl games, back to 3 consecutive years. That's something they'll never be able to take away from this senior group. And for us, we got so many young guys out there. I think it just showed the spirit because they didn't quit. And, they're sure we got to get better, but I couldn't be happier for this group of guys to finish off this year the way they did.
Some of the defensive struggles were obvious, but down the stretch, some huge stops, the pick 6 by Tony Hurd Jr. What did you learn about your defense's fight tonight?
Well, we challenged them at halftime, and we challenged everybody. And as I said, as a coach, the biggest compliment you can have in a situation like that is the guys didn't quit, and they executed, weren't perfect, but found a way to win the game. And to do that, a team's got to stick together, and it took everything. They stole 2 possessions with us with a blocked punt and an onside kick, and we had to figure out a way to get it back. Fortunately, Tony Hurd made a huge play, probably the biggest play of his career.
Coach, you sure kept things interesting for all the viewers out there tonight. We appreciate your time. Congratulations on this season.
All right. Happy New Year.
Happy New Year. Reese, we'll send it back up to you.
A new year will ring in 12 minutes, and it'll be a happy one for Kevin Sumlin and the Aggies. Coming up next, we'll bring you the post-game trophy presentation presented by Capital One. That is on ESPN3. Our final score in the Chick-fil-A Bowl, Texas A&M wins it 52-48. Our terrific Thursday night primetime crew working on New Year's Eve here in Atlanta. Thanks to them, best in the business, did a great job. Sports Center's coming up just around the corner. For Samantha Ponder, David Pollack, Jesse Palmer, I'm Reese Davis saying good night from Atlanta. We're back in a moment on Sports Center.